All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Watching the Gold Cup draw live. Oh my lord, this is going to be good. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, people. This is going to be a good one. Let's see who Jamaica is going to have in their group. Just coming on to the stream at some just finished one, as you know. But this is going to be a good draw. We are hoping to have some of our panelists with us talking about the Gold Cup. Um, Today we're going to pin the link so that some of you can come on and join Man is Man and I Am Sure Sports as we discuss the Gold Cup draw for 2023. All right. Like I said, we're going to have on guests and panelists from far and wide going through this. All right. So join the stream, like the stream, subscribe early and early so others can know is that yes, that we are good up and running. So we have the Gold Cup Drive Lord live for 2023. Let's see which city Jamaica will be playing in. Yes, we want to see which city and who are the teams will be in Jamaica's group. This will be Coach Heimir Hallgrimsson first Gold Cup, first major tournament from beginning to end. And we are hoping that once the draw is finished, there should be some CONCACAF dinner that is going on, or function that is going on after the Gold Cup draw is completed. But we're hoping to be able to reach out to him and or Tashana Vincent, who is also one of the other Jamaicans who will be participating in this Gold Cup draw. But no other person. This is I believe a CONCACAF sponsored event, and so the head coach is the person who, like I said, will be representing um, Jamaica at the Gold Cup. All right, so stay tuned. We're going to give you all the details. We're going to let you know what city the Reggae Boys will be playing in, who their opponents will be. We're going to talk about, because I mean, what that squad will look like. I really believe that this provides a good opportunity for Jamaica's Reggae Boys to really do something, to really do something, to really make a mark with this new coach here. I think that we can possibly win this Gold Cup. I think if we get all things in place and in order, I foresee Jamaica winning this Gold Cup. I think we have a very good coach. We have um, a good mix of players, and I have seen where, just in terms of the coach, some of the things that he has been able to do in the short time that he has been in charge of the team. The team has performed well, though he has not picked up his first official win yet, right? So the 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 coach is at the draw. Echo Reeks, so he will not be able to join until it is finished. Don't understand, right? Maybe I didn't hear. So Coach Heimir Hallgrimsson is Jamaica's representative at the draw. So he's at the Gold Cup. He's there, and so yeah. So once the draw is done, there's going to be, like I said, some event after. In between that, we're going to have him give his feedback as to the what he thinks about the draw. Again, if you're on early, please hit the like button, subscribe, like, share. Okay. Yep. This is big, people. Like I said, this provides Jamaica, I think, with one of the better opportunities to go beyond the semifinals, go beyond the finals, and actually lift the Gold Cup this time around. We have had a couple of final appearances, but I really think that this is a big one, a big one, and yeah, I have this confidence, like I said, that we are going to go to the finals And if all things go to plan, I see us winning the Gold Cup this time around. Let's see what city, what group, who is in our group. Yeah, is there a preferred? You know that we're going to end up in a group with either the USA, Mexico, or Canada, Costa Rica. I think right. Just how the pool is. You could yeah. So the draw is there. So let's see. Gold Cup, as you know, it begins on. Yeah, that would be good, Jason. Close proximity. The games will be from the 16th to the from June the 16th to July. Yeah, to July the 17th, I believe. Listen, here's the thing, and I think it would be good for Jamaica to play a couple of South American teams before they go into the Gold Cup. I'm telling you, I think that would be great if you can play like the Chile, the Paraguay, the Uruguay. Have those games before you get into the Gold Cup. That would be good preparation for the team. So I'm hoping that the persons who arrange games in the GFF can do that, right? So, like I said, um, it will be very, very interesting to see how this draw goes, right? They had host the World Cup host Qatar. They were in the last Gold Cup. There are no other nations except the CONCACAF nations in this Gold Cup. Yep. Demo is saying that we should use the Gold Cup as World Cup prep. Don't necessarily have to win. Just work on formation, tactics, and gelling. I think Demo. I understand what you're saying, but I think we should go for winning the Gold Cup. Personally, I think we should try and win the Gold Cup because that is going to be, if we win the Gold Cup, that is the best preparation um, going in. And I'd love for us to like play back Argentina, maybe after the Gold Cup, or to play Brazil, or to play France, or to play England. I think sometime in this summer we need to play one of those big nations, Germany. I'm telling you, I think if we go to the Gold Cup and win it, it puts us in a position to get even more higher profile games. All right, so it like, yep, money at stake. Very good point, Paul Marriott. Yeah, United States are the holders of the Gold Cup. As you know, they won the last edition of the Gold Cup. Remember to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. If you are not a subscriber to I Am Sure Sports, make sure you go ahead and subscribe right now. So we're gonna go through. You tell me what you think of the groups. Which group is the group of death? Is there any? Tell me who would you want to of Mexico, Canada, the USA, and Costa Rica. I think they are the teams in the, or is it Panama? I don't even remember now. But I know USA, Mexico, Canada, and they will go in A, B, C, and D. Is it Costa Rica? I think it's Costa Rica. Yeah, Costa Rica. A, B, C, and D. Which one of those teams you think that Jamaica should be paired with? I don't want us to be in the zone with Canada. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't want us to play any of our games in Canada. What are your thoughts on that? I don't want us to play any games in Canada, and I feel like I think the BMO Stadium in Canada is one of the venues, and in Toronto, and I figure that if teams could end up, and I think if Jamaica is in that group with Canada, then how it's going to be is that, seeing that that would probably be one of the bigger games in the group, that game would probably be played in Canada. So I'd rather us be in the group with USA or Mexico or even Costa Rica. Because guess what? What that would mean is that in the next round we would avoid that particular team. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? We're not trying to avoid them, but at least we come out of the group. The pathway becomes a little bit simpler. All right. So yeah, Real Albala says, "Bring on Costa Rica." Yeah. So who is going to play? But Jason, they can't, because there is a one of the venues is there, you know. So is it that? So I think if the Canada will play there because it's one of the venues that will be used, and I think they're testing it out for the round one. Yep. All right. So I think we are going now. What? Okay. So you have the prelims. They are doing the prelims. Yeah. Yeah. So Canada, BMO Field in Toronto will be used as one of the venues. Yep. Okay. So Trinidad, Martinique, Curacao, French Guiana, Suriname, and Guyana. Let's see who those teams are going to play. This is going to be interesting. Donald Garden, blessings. Welcome to the welcome, man. Where is my friend Andre from Trinidad? Real Albala, you're in a joyful mood today. It's payday. Real Albala is in a joyful mood, people. Seem to have received a major increase in his salary. He's just happy all day today, I'm telling you. Have you ever been watching one of these things and you feel like, please, just get to the main thing? Where is Cataract when he needs to come and talk about the draw? That's a Jamaican Tashana Vincent. Beautiful, eh? No, that's not that. That's not that. I said, that was me, I say. Help my eyes, you know. Of course. Yeah, but I tell you, need to get to the meat of the matter. Tashana Vincent. Tashana Vincent, give me a good grow up, you know. Tashana, touch them thing there with the lucky hand. Tashana, Trini play Guadeloupe. What? What? Guadeloupe. That's Guadeloupe. What? Trinidad versus Guadeloupe. Atasha, she don't touch the balls when it come to the Jamaican time, you know. Tell you. Martinique versus Saint Lucia. No, man, go ahead, Jason. Go ahead, Jason. So Trinidad versus Guadeloupe, Martinique versus Saint Lucia. Go ahead, Jason. Go ahead. It's not a problem. Not a problem. Where the Trinidad posse? Trinidad, Guadeloupe. Go ahead, Jason. French, Guyana versus Curacao versus St. Kitts. Yes, yes, yes. See it? Go ahead, Jason. French Guyana versus Saint Martin. Curacao will be going up against Saint Kitts. Suriname versus Puerto Rico. And who will the Jaguars of Guyana be playing? Grenada. So it is Guyana versus Grenada, Suriname versus Puerto Rico, French Guyana versus St. Martin, Curacao. Oh, look at that. Curacao versus St. Kitts, Guyana, French Guyana versus St. Martin, Suriname versus Puerto Rico, Guyana versus Grenada. Oh, Trinidad plays Guadeloupe. Let's look at them again. One game. Game two, Martinique, St. Lucia. Game three, Curacao. Right? Game four, French Guyana versus St. Martin. Five, Suriname, Puerto Rico. Guyana versus Grenada. And from there, you will have six teams. Yep. Oh my. Andre Fortune, we waiting on you. He's giving it to us right here, but we know. Then what you'll find is that the winner of the Trinidad game will play the winner of the Guyana Grenada game to see which team advances to the Gold Cup. The winner of the Martinique versus St. Lucia game will play the winner of the Suriname versus Puerto Rico game. That is winner 2 versus winner 5. That's match 8. Match 9 will see the Curacao St. Kitts winner playing against the French Guyana Saint Martin. So let me see if I can give you all of this so you can see. Don't know. Let me give you. I have this picture right here. So let me see if I can show you it. Not sure if I can show I think I can do this right. Oh my word. So let's show you how this first part of the draw has gone and worked out so far. What's going on? All right, so let's share this with you. All right, big up Cataract, late like a bird. So let's look at this right here. Where is Andre? Where are the Trinis? What do you make, Trinidad? What are you making of your draw right now? There you go, people. This is it. Yeah. So three teams out of this 12 will qualify for the official part of the Gold Cup right there. That is the big Mexican forward there in the house. Used to give Jamaica a warm time. So there we go, people. Trinidad versus Guadeloupe. Guyana versus Grenada. Martinique versus St. Lucia. Suriname versus Puerto Rico. Curacao versus St. Kitts and Nevis. French Guiana versus Saint Martin. Now we're going to get into the group stages of the draw. Feeling line and thereof, Cataract without the eye is coming into the final stretch as we see Teddy the Grey Lee on the outside being put under pressure by Peso. Let them gossip on the inside. They come into the final furlong and Cataract without eye being trailed by Grey. So it stayed Teddy O, followed close on the outside by Peso. So them Tessa. Yeah, but very interesting. I think is there any intriguing lineup right here? Let me see. Which one of these intrigue you the most? Trinidad versus Guadeloupe should be a good game. St. Kitts and Nevis versus Curacao. That is a good one. But I think the match 7, 8, and 9, when they break it down, yeah, I think Trinidad. I agree with you, Jerome. 876 that they will get the better of Guadeloupe. Kobe Jones of the United States is also in the building. Remember, if you're watching, it is Super Friday, so make sure you leave a super sticker or a super chat. Also, make sure you like the video. Come on, people, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. I think Trinidad will make it out because I think the winner of that Trinidad Guadeloupe game will get the better of either Guyana or Grenada. But people, St. Lucia with the couple of players that play for Portmore, the keeper at Cavaliers, Duxley at Mount Pleasant. Yep. That St. Lucia team could give Martinique a run for their money. I think Suriname will probably get the better of Puerto Rico. And then I think Suriname will probably come through. So this is official draw. And they call it the double blind system team pot. You have the team pots. Yep. I think French Guiana will end up playing Curacao, and I think that is going to be a big game. See the different pots: Canada, Costa Rica, Mexico, the United States. Pot 2 has Jamaica. They have Guatemala, Haiti. Yeah. So let's see who from pot 1 gets drawn first. Let's see. Jason seems to be ahead of us. So let's see what Jason puts up first. White spear. So let's see. All right. Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D. Oh, there you go. Oh, so whoa. Prelim, pam pam pa da 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 dum dum dum. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. All right. Yeah. So Group A USA Group B, Mexico. Group C, Canada. Group D, Costa Rica. Yep, people. Let's see. How the cookie crumbles. This is the Gold Cup. This is the draw for the Gold Cup. And so, after that, we're going to break down stuff and look at it all. See? All right. Let's look, see if we can see Heimir Hallgrimsson in the building. All right. Razzle dazzle, USA. Group, okay. USA Group 1, Mexico. Group 2, Costa Rica is in Group C. I believe. Let's see. Yep. So that means Canada is in Group D. All right. So there you go. Those are the groups that the teams will be in. Let's see where it goes from here. This is, you have Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Guatemala. Where will these teams go? Haiti, this is part two, so one of each will go in one of these groups. Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Guatemala. Will Jamaica be in Group C with Costa Rica? Will Jamaica get part C with Costa Rica? So Group A, USA. Group B, Mexico. Group C, Costa Rica. Group D, Canada. They are in Part 2. Part 2 has Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, and Guatemala. Jamaica, oh, is the first team. I feel like some trickery is going on. Why can't I see his hand? It almost feels like he didn't open a ball right here. Let's see. We need to see what is going on. What kind of trickery is going on? Like they're trying to, let's see what Kobe Jones going on with. Right? Why do I feel like they're going to put Jamaica in Group A? Like Group A. Tashana Vincent is there. So she's looking to see if he's doing any scundongles, nothing going on. Big up Kobe Jones. Group, what is that? Oh, look at Heimir Hallgrimsson. He's smiling. Oh, I told you, I know that Jamaica was going to be in the USA group. I knew that. And I'm telling you that, watch this now. All right? Not seeing, you see it? It's almost like Guatemala. Guatemala going to be in Mexico group. I can't, Guatemala, group B. People, me are telling you, Guatemala going in group B. Man is man. He's telling you that. Man, and put Mexico group playing in the USA. The only one not playing in the USA. Man is man. Oh, what? Group D? Guatemala, Ghana, Canada. Uh. Yeah, I tell you, Jason, it just seemed rigged, right? All right. Haiti is going to come up next. I'm telling you, Haiti is coming up next. And Haiti is going to be with Canada. And Panama is going to be with Mexico. Remember, management tell you that. Oh my word. Haiti will be in group. Oh, group B. No. All right, let's see. Haiti is in group B. And oh my, Haiti, Mexico, Canada, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Panama, Jamaica, USA. Oh. What do you think so far, people? What do you think so far? Oh my word. Are you happy so far with how things are going? Oh my word. I don't know, man. I just always, hey, Cataract. Are you watching the draw, Cataract? What is wrong with Cataract? Haiti versus Jamaica? What are you talking about, Cataract? Cataract, you need to go on. Cataract, go and watch the draw. So Guatemala, is it El Salvador in Group C? Panama is in Group C. What? Eh? Oh, you're just going ahead. Oh man, Nicaragua, Jamaica beat up Nicaragua, man. If we get them, man. El Salvador. Oh, El Salvador. Oh, that is a group of death. Yeah, Tashada Vincent coming. No, you're the real deal. What you mean? See it? You show your hand. There you go. Group C. You see, you show your hand. Real Jamaican, you show your hand. Yeah. El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama. Tough group that, you know. Tough group that. Tough group that. Nicaragua. Hey, Canada can get some dry, you know, brother. Canada get some dry, you know, brother. Me have to wonder, you know. Nicaragua in Jamaica's group. Cuba. Oh, jeez. Canada can get some dry, you know, brother. Nicaragua, USA, Jamaica. Yo, the Nicaraguan man, them a shake them and then them a say, Lord of mercy. All right, let's see who next is going to be in there. Oh, my word. Cuba is in the group with Canada and Guatemala. Oh, man. And Honduras is in the group with Mexico, Haiti, Honduras. All right, and then they're going to show like the winner of what is going to play and who is going to be in what, right? Oh, Lord. All right. I like how Tashana Vincent does hers. And stay up in the ear, them man, they put them on the table, man. Honduras, Haiti, Mexico, Jamaica, USA, Nicaragua, Cuba, Guatemala, Canada. Then you're going to have like from the winners of the playoffs. Whoa. So part 4 tell you the winner of game 7, the winner of game 8, the winner of game 9. All right. So Qatar is in group B. Oh, Qatar is back again. Qatar is in group B, so that group is Qatar, Haiti, Honduras, and Mexico. Prelim 8, I think they pulled. C. So prelim 8 has group C, which is, I think that is going to be Suriname. Suriname, I think, is going to be in group C. Qatar in group B. The Trinidad group going to have group D. And I think Jamaica are going to have Curacao or French Guyana. One of those two. Prelim 9 is going to be in Jamaica's group. And I think that is going to be between French Guyana and Curacao. And I think that is going to be Curacao. So I'm going Curacao in Jamaica's group. Yep. So Trinidad going to be in a group, which I think this is a good group. I think Trinidad, you know what is funny? I think Trinidad and Canada are going to come out of that group, with Cuba, Guatemala, Canada, and Trinidad. I think Trinidad and Canada coming out of that group. I think the toughest group is Group C. Costa Rica, Haiti, Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador. Tough group. And I think Suriname is going to be there too. That is going to be a tough group. So it will be Mr. Speed.
Mr. Stinnett, how are you, sir?
I am doing good, sir. You saw the group, sir?
No.
Group A, USA, Mexico, USA, Jamaica, right? I think we're gonna get the winner of the Curacao game. I think we're gonna have Curacao in our group as well, and Nicaragua.
This is the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, give me group again.
So Group A, Jamaica, USA, Nicaragua, and I think Curacao will come out to play us as one of the other team.
So is what? Top two go forward?
Yeah, the top two.
And Group B is who now?
Group B has Mexico, Qatar, Honduras, and Haiti.
And Group C?
Group C has Costa Rica, Panama, who again? El Salvador, and I don't remember the other team. The other team will come through the prelim, the qualifiers.
So Mr. Rob Smith has said me only watch Cavalier. Rob Smith, me do my technical and development committee report. I'll finish it up because we have board meeting coming up. So that's why I never had to watch the draw here. That's what I tell you. Say me do some other work, PJ.
Yeah. So
the draw then is that we get a good chance to play against USA. Probably twice for the competition. So yeah, I would think we're good to go.
So Group D has Canada, Guatemala, Cuba, and the winner of Prelim 7, which we believe is going to be Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. So you're coming up now with who?
All right. So let me put up the groups and see. Yeah, I'm going to put up the group. So we have Cataract, we have Unseen. So let me put up the group. Cataract. Unseen. Come in. Me now hear Cataract.
Yes, man is on.
Yeah.
It's my live from the World Cup draw.
Eh?
Live from over the stadium, you know.
Yeah? You're live from over the stadium?
Yeah, man.
Well, this man I tell me same live from over the stadium. What you talk about? Which the National Stadium?
Yeah, man, National Stadium. Independence Park Limited.
What do you think about the draw?
I think for Jamaica, it's good. I think the group with Qatar, Haiti, Honduras is the group of death. That's my thought there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Group C also you could call them a group of death as well. Group C.
I think Group C is a group of death.
No, but yeah. Group C and Group B. Um, yeah, but the other groups are quite, you can really predict who is going to come out of the group easily. But Group
I don't think Group C are the group of that.
and Group B are the group of the to me. Group
Why you
Group
think
B
Group
most
C?
poorly. Huh?
Yeah, Group B harder
Group B harder, yeah.
than
Something.
C.
That's something. Can I group easy though?
I think Canada get the easiest group.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Group
so
B
manage.
Yes,
harder.
Ketara.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the fellow panelists. Um, it's a typical draw. You always end up with a group of death, and you always end up with a group that is easy. That's the law of probabilities. Thankfully, Jamaica has avoided the banana skin of being in the group of death. So the three neighbors them can go and war it out, and
Mm.
we catch them you understand. Um, favorable group, we end up with the United States. I am presupposing that that group will be hosted in the United States, which we would all be hoping for because that's where we have a large support base to come out and support the Reggae Boys if it is marketed properly. Um, my only wish when it started was I wanted Trinidad to be in our group, so them get to it. Um, so it for me is a fair draw, and we have everything in our favor to be able to come out of the group,
I,
all
I
things being
think we're gonna
equal.
end up. I think we're gonna end up having Curacao in our group because I think Curacao will be playing Saint Kitts and the Nevis, and Guyana will be playing Saint Martin. I see French Guyana winning that, and Curacao winning. So both of them will play, and I think Curacao will get the better.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I have some liking for Saint Lucia. I want to make it.
Saint Lucia, but
Yeah,
Saint Lucia have Martinique, and if they beat Martinique, they're gonna have Suriname.
I think
And
because of
based on what I saw, Suriname versus Mexico, I don't think St. Lucia gonna get the better of them.
oh get better for
Of
They have
Suriname.
Suriname,
Suriname.
yeah.
But you
But
don't know, because St. Lucia, in there they got promoted to the B
yeah,
bracket
League
in
B,
Nation League.
four games, 4 wins. Yeah,
Right. So you don't know how good they are, and they have a lot of players playing in Jamaica, and some of them
Right.
improving. So you don't know. It's gonna be a close game,
And
I
because
think.
of the connection with them playing the JPL, I want to see them in the World Cup, man.
the one issue I have though is this: I don't like the fact that USA are in our group because I think that USA Jamaica game is going to be played in in in
In West Bumber Street.
in, in one of those very remote areas where there is not a lot of Jamaicans, but
But
lot.
can they manipulate it in that way?
You don't think so?
No,
You don't think they can choose
I
where
am asking. I'm asking, circle. Nowadays, they
I
seem
don't know
to
if you
be.
call it manipulate, but they want to play the game in a place where they have more American support than Jamaican support. They're not going to play it in New York or in Florida. That's for sure.
Are the game? I probably should pose the question, Mr. Speed. Are the game venues set already, Mr. Speed? In Concacaf, who decides where the group games are played? What
I
city?
know I know that the venues are set, and the final is going to be played in California. So there's some things that is set already, but I don't know where the different.
The group games. I'm wondering about, and can
Not at
Jamaica
all.
make a lobby for the group game?
You want to play here?
No man to play in Fort Lauderdale or New
No,
York.
No,
no. That
no, no.
Cataract. It's like you're
I
telling
am,
the USA. No, Cataract. Let's be real. You're
I'm,
asking Jamaica.
I'm
Hold on.
asking a question.
So Cataract.
Why the venom? I'm
So,
asking by what means the host city is decided. meaning I saw a number of cities put up as these cities are going to host group games,
Well,
and I'm
Can you give me a
asking.
chance to say me? I go
Oh,
say no.
sorry,
You
go
asked
ahead,
the
sorry, go ahead.
question, but let me just say what I'm saying. All right, what I am saying is simply this: if Jamaica can lobby, then USA can lobby. Why would USA allow Jamaica to lobby to the point where the game is played, where they have probably more Jamaicans coming out to support the team than Americans coming out to support America? And the competition is being played in their country, Catara. That boy answer. Tell me how you get
You
that.
want me to answer? I asked a question. Okay, so let me ask you the question. Maybe by what mechanism is the venue for the group games decided? And if you know, or Mr. Speed knows, or Odyssey knows, because I do not know. So I'm seeking knowledge. What is the mechanism by which the group game is decided? I know, for example, in the Euros, long before the draw is made, you know which group is going to be hosted in which city.
But that's what I'm saying. So even if you know that the American Scatterrock would play the games in city where they believe they have the greatest American support. They're who organize it. The head of CONCACAF is a Canadian. Canada is not going to play their games in Mexico. So that is the point I'm making. So if America is going to play, they are going to say, listen, if we get Jamaica, we can't play New York. So let's have all our games be played in Glendale, Arizona, or in I don't know, or in Santa Clara, California. I don't maybe a lot of Jamaica. I don't know, or in Cincinnati, Ohio. Like the Mexican games, we have to understand that the Mexican games are going to be played like in the Texas area because that's where they're going to get most of the support. I don't know. I don't know.
I only know that they know where the venues are already, but I'm not sure which game will be assigned there. Except the finals, I know the finals will be in California. That's all I know so far.
Yeah.
They had sent
Thank
us
you,
a
Mr.
question.
Speed.
I need to just go back and try and find it. So.
One thing I know is that the USA will not play Jamaica in Florida or New York. That I know. The USA not going to make that happen. Or in Washington. After what happened to them in those venues.
For another show, I'll speak about the power of the CONCACAF, of the CFU vote, the block of CFU votes, and why we are not able or try to use those block of votes to make things better for our teams in competitors. But I guess at some, do we know
Yeah.
the date at which the venue is going to be announced, Mr. Speed, Manning's man?
Rob Smith is saying that the venues are up already.
Hey man, the videos them up already.
No man. Like what zone playing in what venue?
No, we don't see that. We
No,
don't see that.
I have all the venues, but you don't know what is played where. Yeah,
You don't know. You don't know where them play.
yeah. But I know all the venues. I can give all the venues if people want the venues. The
Where do that
venues
money
are
from?
AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, Soldier Field, Chicago, TQL Stadium, Cincinnati, DRV PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey, NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, Shell Energy Stadium, Houston, Texas, Sophie Stadium, Inglewood, California, Ali Giant Stadium in Las Vegas, Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, City Park in St. Louis, and BMO Field in Toronto.
Man, the only thing we're sure of is that the finals gonna keep in Inglewood. So far.
So the Marines, we can just stick to the draw. On another occasion, I will say that if every year we are going to vote for the Gold Cup to be held in the USA, right? That at some point we have to seek, I don't know how the mechanism is, how the negotiating and diplomatic skills are. That if it's every year it's going to be held in the USA, then if Jamaica or the Caribbean gets a game or qualifies, team qualify, then we can't be playing in West Woy Woy because our support base is on the East Coast. Whenever Mexico is in a group, somehow that group ends up in California, full to the brim of Serenos and Nortenos and everybody, Nevada, everybody rolling over the West Coast. There needs to be some skill negotiation. But as for the draw, I think that
I think, to me, I think we are in a good group because once we get out, we avoid the USA until the finals, based on how it would the seeding is. Which I'd love to meet them back in the finals. But Mr. Speed, this is a super chat. Big up! It is Super Friday, and our next super chat from Jason. And because he sees unseen, he's asking this question of Mr. Speed. So, Mr. Speed, with a person with a coaching diploma from GC Foster, or it would a person from with a coaching diploma from GC Foster. For example, hypothetically speaking, if there's a person called JP and they have a coaching diploma from GC Foster, would they be able to coach at the JPL level? If yes, is it equivalent or higher than the hypothetically speaking the D license?
Just for correction, this coaching diploma is not a track diploma, right?
This
It's not a track
unseen.
and field diploma, right?
Unseen. Is a track and
Huh?
is a track and field diploma?
It depends on what the person JP would major in.
So, because me don't know if them have any football diploma over there, do they? Unseen?
It don't straight it don't only consist of only football though. But when a major that year, that whole year would be strictly football. The first year would be basic track and field, whatever. Safeguarding, all different courses JFF would have do. And then the last year it would focus on program writing, all the 9 years.
Okay.
Not everything though, but
Right. So no, that diploma wouldn't be able to coach at the JPL level. The JPL level next season is a B license, or you must be registered into a B license course. That's the JPL level. Next season. This season it was a C license or equivalent. So one I think that we do when there's any diploma from other institutions, the person send it to us and send us the course. And what we try to do is to assess if they would have covered the same topics that we would have done in the JFF license. So that is how we determine if there's equivalency. But I wouldn't know upfront off the record. Yeah, like that.
Okay. Unseen. You know who JP is because he's an online personality,
yeah, man.
Oh, you know him? Okay. Because he's a youth then called Javan. Me forget him surname.
Okay.
Think of something like Parchment or something like that.
Same name with you?
Same
Anyways.
Anyways, Cataract, what do you think of the zone though? That Jamaica
I thought I said that already. I think it's a balanced zone, which gives Jamaica more than 50-50 chance of coming out of the group into the knockout stage. That's my assessment. And we should be able to, based on rankings and record, we should be able to dispose of the two minor teams, and then everything would be down to the match with the United States. And if we were able to get the better of the United States in the group stage, then I think we would avoid Mexico. Am I correct?
Yeah, that is if Mexico top their group. Cause remember
Yeah,
Qatar.
if Mexico tops their group, then we'd be able to avoid Mexico.
Yeah. What say you about the Jamaica group? And see, let's go group by group, and then I'll hear from Mr. Speed.
I think Jamaica can tap this group, based on the players that we have and the coach. I think and the fans behind it now, the whole camaraderie. I think we can do something. We can win this group and go in the next round feeling happy. Hallgrimsson, it's a big task still, but we can do it, man.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's Group A. Group A now play Group D. Is Group B or D they're playing?
No, man. Group A, when it says avoid, because it means I think probably up until to the finals. But if you
Semis before
yeah, man, the quarterfinals would be Group A
Group D.
versus the winner of Group A would play second place in Group B.
B,
There's a two from each group,
D. So the winner,
D, right.
the winner of Group A will play the second place team in Group D, as in donkey.
And
So the
then
winner of Group A, the second place team.
and the
Okay.
second place in a Group A will play the winner of Group D.
Okay,
Yes.
so Jamaica either play Canada or Guatemala.
Right. So it's semi-final before we would have probably play somebody from BRC. So?
Yeah, that is correct.
Right. So it would have made Mexico in a semi-final. It's time Mexico. Time soon come, man. Don't worry. Mexico time soon.
The
But
last
I think for Group A, yes, yeah, we
Right,
should
Mr.
go
Speed.
through easy. We should go through fairly.
Yeah. Big deal. Lenny saying to us the last time Jamaica was in Group A, they actually went to the finals. So, yeah. All right. Mr. Speed, what do you think about the group though that Jamaica is in? What are
No, I
yours?
think is to me the people that gives us trouble is usually USA, Canada, Panama, Mexico. You'd have say Costa Rica too.
Boys, a lot of trouble that is look like the whole of the team them that a 5
No,
team that you name, you
no.
know.
Yeah, but many team will finish ahead of us last World Cup qualifier. So they have given us problems between in group in both home and away. So it's good to Panama really give us a lot of problems, so we don't have them to deal with the preliminary. Canada show mastery over Australia last World Cup qualifier. Somehow we're getting closer to Mexico, but we haven't been able to defeat them yet. So I like playing USA, even if they beat us most of the time. I always think we have a chance against USA for some reason. And it's about time we play them again. The last time I think they give us 4-0 when we played.
Who?
Oh,
USA.
The last time USA gave 4-0?
now in a Gold Cup.
When?
No, man. No, not World Cup. No, it wasn't the last time. Sorry.
No, man. That's a friendly match in Austria.
Yeah, they give us 4-0 in that match. Yeah. 4-0.
Okay.
So 4-1, sir. 4-1. Jamal Lowe scored a consolator.
In the World Cup qualifier, I mean, they were one of the better teams. They give us.
In Austria, they didn't give us. They gave us 4-1 in Austria.
3-1. 3-1 and 4-1.
I thought 3-1 and 4-1.
Yeah, one of them.
I'm sure we name score. What name?
Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe scored. Andre Gray assist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we drew 1-1 in the World Cup qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
But we lost in the United States though.
Yeah, about 4-9 or 3-9 United.
3-0.
3-0, right. So them kind of, have the edge on us. But I always fancy ourselves against them because I always think that we get opportunities. We just not take them. And we need to play them more. So I'm satisfied that we're playing them in this group. And as I said, it means that we might not meet them again until in the finals. What would be good though if we could just win the group? It will set us up nicely to go to navigate the quarterfinals one, because we'll get a second place team in Group D who will sort out themselves as to who come second eventually. So I think Jamaica should try and tap the group and see if we can get a better draw in the quarterfinals.
Man.
I think it's a good draw for Jamaica.
Man.
Go ahead, Unseen.
I think
I'm trying to see if I can reach somebody who is actually at the Gold Cup draw to give us their feedback.
I think Jamaica may play USA in that group last. So maybe that match will be the group decider.
Right. So once we win the other two, then that means we need to put up good performances, score as much goals as we can, so that don't happen to us like what happened against Mexico in the Nations League, where we just had to win.
I think the last time we played Nicaragua, Jamal Matt scored. Was it our Donaldson on the AstroTurf in Nicaragua? Was it Donaldson? They playing him Donaldson? I think it was Donaldson, that scored on the AstroTurf. You remember that game, Cataract, in Nicaragua?
No, I don't recall the result, but Nicaragua is one of the Central American teams.
Clayton Donaldson was his name.
Clayton Donaldson, for striker from Leicester City. But Nicaragua is one of the Central American teams that if God came down and said, "Give me a Central American team as an opponent," that's the one you would choose. They are pretty much the weakest outside of Belize, the weakest team in Central America, in my estimation.
Somebody said it is Simon Dawkins who score, and not. Okay, all right.
Oh, man, when they qualify, almost get kicked out.
Yeah, and we went over there and played.
Yeah, Simon Dawkins scored for two.
Dawkins, okay. Simon Dawkins, okay. But continue, Cataract, sorry.
No, I'm saying that they are the weakest Central American team. So if you had if you could have robbed a genie and got a wish and say, "Give me a Central American team in my group," every day you will pick Nicaragua.
Okay.
So let me say, this is the best possible draw that we could have gotten.
From the Gold Cup, but I can't take it right here, so let me call you back.
Man, is when people them see my face now, man. Continue, any.
Right. No, I'm saying it's the best possible draw that Jamaica could have gotten. And so all Jamaican fans, all ultras, we should be happy. And it's on to phase 2. Maybe Mr. Speed could be so kind as to invite the marketing manager or marketing director to come next week and tell us what those plans are to market the games, to ensure that we don't have a repeat of what happened in Orlando, where the majority of the Jamaican population was unaware that our team was playing in the city. And so that wherever we are, that there is a clear marketing plan to get the fans to come.
We have a special guest from Coach Hallgrimsson. Good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure. We're doing fine. We're here with Mr. Rudolph Speed, management Unseen Sports, and a host of Jamaican, trying to get some feedback.
Cataract is not here.
And Cataract, trying to get some feedback from you about the Gold Cup draw, that and what the experience was like for you on this your first major tournament that you actually are at the draw as the head coach of Jamaica.
Yeah. I think it's exciting. This group could have been easier, but it could also have been more tricky, more difficult. So I think we can be fairly satisfied with the draw.
Okay, wonderful. And like I said, that I don't know if you know much about any of these teams, except for the United States, who are there, and you don't know yet who will come through the prelims, and seeing. I mean, how soon do we begin the preparation for this Gold Cup? Now that you know the start date, you know the teams that you'll be playing.
Yeah, we just start now. First of all, I don't know much about Nicaragua, but I've heard that Jamaica has struggled to get results against them in the past, so a tricky opponent for us. And the four teams from pot four, we just start now and analyze all four of them. So we start with that work, then we follow and monitor their group, their preliminary group, and strike out some of our work along the way. So that is just what we need to start working on now. Regarding US, of course, you would have wanted to avoid the highest ranked team in the region in the group phase, and they are likely, or the most likely, to win the group because they are number one. They are the highest FIFA ranked team and the current champions playing at home. So they are truly favorites. But it's good to measure yourself against the best one. So I'm looking forward to that. I saw 2 matches live in Qatar with the US national team, and I really liked how they played there. So it's a high energy, high pressing. So it will be tough to play them, but it will be fun at the same time.
All right. So not only that, could it also be viewed as a positive that we get to play the US in our zone, which means we come out of the group, we get to avoid them if we keep winning until possibly the finals. Could it be also, is that a positive that, well, at least we get to play them in the group, so we don't have to play them when we come out of the group until in the finals, which probably is an objective. How do you feel about that?
Correct, Mannings. If we qualify from the group, it's positive. But they probably will occupy one spot, so there's only one left. But we will see. We have a chance against all nations in this tournament, so we will not lose. We will not lose in our minds before the game. And of course, it's going to be an exciting game to play them, and I'm really looking forward to play them at home.
Wonderful. And finally, I mean, the host, I don't know if you heard this. I know you always have a smile on your face. I mean, said first Icelandic dentist to coach at a Gold Cup. You know, we kind of said, listen, this is the former Icelandic national coach, you know, coming to coach in the diverse Scandinavian.
Yeah. Some people are better with jokes than others, and we just have to bear with that.
All right, what about host cities? I mean, because one of the discussions we are having is sometimes we don't know how the selection of the cities are. And because there's a huge Jamaican population, I know that in our World Cup qualifyings, we have noticed that the venues that have been selected since, I think, in 1998 campaign, when we had more Jamaicans in Washington at the game than the Americans had, they have tried to play the games in venues where the contingent of Jamaican is not so large. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because having the diaspora support there will be very important for the Jamaican team.
Really, I cannot comment on that because I don't know the past in this, and I would not think they would go that low to do that. But if they do, then they are showing us a huge respect.
Yes.
But I think the Jamaicans will come and support us wherever we are. I hope so.
Yeah. And I mean, I just had a friend of mine just saying that he's from a federation in the Caribbean, saying that they have received like calls from South American nations trying to play games before the Gold Cup. So is that a possibility of Jamaica looking at getting a couple of games leading up to the Gold Cup as preparation before you actually get into the tournament itself?
Yeah, there is a FIFA window prior to the Gold Cup where we can have all the players that are playing abroad. So yeah, we could, and we have some nations, and even more now in the draw. We have more nations that want to play us. So yeah, I think we can pick from what we want. Now we know our group, so we can plan both according to the dates and also according to the opponents we would like to play before this tournament. So yeah, I think within a few days we will probably fix a friendly. We will probably fix a friendly.
All right. I know you're very busy, but I have a group of panelists. I'm going to have it answer one question from them, and then we will allow you to go and enjoy the rest of your evening with all those people in CONCACAF. And it was good seeing you. The Jamaicans were excited seeing you there. And so that is our coach right there, and that is one of our former national player taking out the balls out the pot and stuff. So, but let's take a question from one of our panelists, and then we'll release your coach. Go ahead. Cataract, who is going? Mr. Speed, Cataract Unseen. One question. Here we go.
Okay. Good afternoon, Coach Hallgrimsson. Congratulations on your first Gold Cup draw. This is Cataract, the oligarch from the Ultras. I'm detecting a small, slight Jamaican accent coming in, Coach. So that's good. And my question to you, Coach, would be really in terms of your recruitment and putting the team together to face this Gold Cup. Has this draw, or would this draw alter in any way, or how would it affect your thinking about the team that you would put together?
No, actually not. I know from experience what kind of a squad is good to take to finals like these ones. Now, there will always be a few players that would play little or sometimes not at all. And it is difficult in a tournament like this one to give players a chance to play. So you kind of is set with maybe your 15, 16, 17 players that you will probably, and it's for all national teams, is 15, 16, 17 players that play majority of the minutes. So I would like, even though I'm not deciding it, but I would like the players from maybe 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 to be younger players that will gain a lot of experience instead of taking senior players in these positions. So just to give experience to younger players rather than having a squad that might in 4 years or 3 years not be in that tournament. So that is kind of the thinking I had, but as coaches we change our minds often. So but this is what I'm used to doing. We try to always take younger players that would at least gain a lot of experience even though they're not playing many minutes.
Hey, Coach, want to thank you. Like I said, I know you have a next
Thank you,
function,
Coach.
so we're going to release you. But just to let you know that the last time we were in Group A at the Gold Cup, we were in the finals. So I don't know if it is karma that we are in Group A again, and we're going to be in the finals this time around. But thank you so much.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Thank you so much for your time, and looking forward to seeing you back in Jamaica preparing this team for the Gold Cup, Coach Hallgrimsson. All right, so there you have it, people. You heard from Coach Hallgrimsson. Yes. Unseen. You get a chance to ask a question and you did. You muted and seen because I heard a
Now
chuckle.
one question I show it in the man is man. I said one question some work with this.
No, you said one question from each
From the
panelist.
panelists, yeah.
Oh, I never.
I figured
Oh.
Mr. Speed.
And I made my shortest question ever.
So we know Cataract love take the question part and run it long. And the man busy.
But Mr. Speed, we played Trinidad and Tobago recently in 2 games, right? Many of us are saying that they are going to come out of their I think they would end up in the Canada group, right? Let's see. I think so. What are your thoughts on that? In terms of um, well, 7, yes, they would end up in the group where Canada, Guatemala, and Cuba are, which means that I think if they're in that group, I could see them coming second in that group behind Canada. Um, how do you see, how do you rate Trinidad and Tobago? They are our neighbors, and I mean, I think they always wish us all the best. Like Andre just said before the game, just said that boy, Jamaica will top the group, and I believe that in that group, if they get to that place, I think they are good enough to finish behind Canada, which would mean that if we top our group, we'll end up playing them in the last 8. And if we finish, and if they top their group and we finish second, we could also end up meeting. Tell me your thoughts on Trinidad, and then I'll go to Cataract and Nancy.
Well, I mean, so in that case, then maybe it's better for us to come second because I don't want us to meet Trinidad because you have to look out for our Caribbean counterpart who is most likely to help carry the fight to the other teams. But I would be just happy if Trinidad was able to go through to the quarterfinal. I mean, the other guy looked like he would have been happy to because would have get to meet. Remember, him always want us to meet somewhere because I'm still smarting from the win that Trinidad, you know, defeated us here in that 2 match series. But the truth is,
Mr. Speed, you're using that name for two cataract, just a cataract, no man. You follow him, I call himself, but no, oligarch.
you see, a person name is a noun, you know. But any
Okay,
noun
all
they
right,
give themselves, you have to just work with the noun. You know, you
all right,
can't change a noun, you know.
all right, all
Thank you, Mr. Speed. And thank you for endorsing. But Mr. Speed, I had a question to you for the technical committee because I know that you guys get together. But there's a point that I made earlier that I would put on the table to you where technical intersects marketing. And I believe that the game that would generate the greatest revenue in the 2 games would generate the greatest revenue in Florida. Would be Jamaica versus Haiti. Friendly, I'm talking about Jamaica versus Haiti or Jamaica versus Cuba, because the diaspora of Haiti and the diaspora of Cuba in Florida, particularly South Florida, is tremendous. Has any thought been given to the viability, technically and from a financial point of view, of any of those kind of friendlies in South Florida in the lead up to the Gold Cup?
Well, we had a couple of names. Definitely, we're going to be playing games maybe 2 games in the June 15th, the June window, right? Because we spoke about it. We didn't make a decision as to who it would be because we were waiting for the draw. To kind of have an idea who we would like to play against. But so all the preparations, we have some plans already in place. Of course, the coach will be a big factor as to who he wants to play against for preparation. So now that we have the draw, probably in the next week or so, we'll sit down and discuss what is the best course of action. Because unlike first time, this coach is much more methodical and pay attention to every single detail that he can find. And so we are trying to catch up with him, based on where we are. First time we let us go look match and not care if it's Brazil or France we're playing, but this coach is not like that. He's going to be methodical and decide who's the best team to play. So we'll have that discussion within a week and then we'll move forward.
That
So I
sounds
can't
good.
say it's 80. That's what I really meant to say.
You know what I think? I think like
Sound good?
though playing Haiti would be a good stream of revenue. I think even if we played like I always find that like I think we played Chile. I think Chile is a good team. Paraguay. Um, I would even say Venezuela. No, sorry, not Venezuela. Ecuador, who we have played before. Like I even think with what Ecuador did in the World Cup, I'm wondering if like those kind of teams, maybe we could play like a Haiti, but play one of those teams as an option as well. I just like those options for us in terms of testing where we are actually at going into a Gold Cup.
So, Manims, of the South American countries, the largest diaspora in South Florida. And I'm looking from the point of view of the couples, right? Um, just to be clear, because I don't have the knowledge to see which team technically would best prepare us. But Colombia has the largest diaspora in South Florida, and Brazil. Um, and I don't know if in your mind any of those two teams. Well, I would say I don't think we could get Brazil at short notice. But what do you think of a team like Colombia? Do you think it would help us to prepare?
Here's the thing though. I think Colombia is like I think right now when I think about some of the players that people know, like what the Caicedo guy is because of how Ecuador did in the World Cup. But I don't think Colombia is bad as well. I don't think Colombia is bad. I think Colombia, like I said, a lot of Colombians over that side. But Kylie saying any South American team in Florida, New Jersey will sell anyone. And so that's what I'm thinking. Like look at it that way. I think even with Darwin Nunes, that even if they got Uruguay, that's a good matchup as well. I wouldn't like for some reason I don't know about the Haiti thing. I feel like Haiti is one of those teams that I really fear.
No, but let me explain something here.
Yeah,
You see, you have to talk about the short term, medium term, and long term planning. It's not. There's a lot of countries that because the World Cup will be in this region, is already looking in at their preparation to come and play in this region. They're looking to say want to start play at least one game before the World Cup. Because some of these countries know they're going to qualify for the World Cup based on their strength. And they want to play at least one game in this region every year. So you have a lot of teams start to look like that in the medium and long term, this cycle of the World Cup cycle for 2026. So there's a lot of opportunities. So we don't really even have to look at who is close to us because they are the ones who don't need the games, who is close to us, who is in the CONCACAF region. They will get the games in the Nation League, they'll get the games in the Gold Cups. There's one more Gold Cup before the World Cup. We are not any strangers to them. So where the real money is who wants to come here and play us from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, from that is why Qatar is probably here now. They want to be first in line. So these are where I think the real economics is on a medium and a long term basis. And we should probably look at in that
yeah.
direction.
And I think Jamaica should, like I agree with Ketarak, we can shoot for Brazil. I think like given how the Argentina game was well attended, I figure when South Americans look at that, they can say, listen, this is a Jamaican team that you play them in there, you'll get a lot of support.
But that's
So
not
let's
how coaches think doing a management. No coach
eh,
never think say they must get battered by Argentina to come get battered by Brazil. Because you don't develop like that. The rule is usually
we never
is
get battered, man. We never
no,
get
no, man.
battered by
The rule,
Argentina.
all coaches think about develop team, especially when he's a new coach and develop team. The rule is this: 50% of teams will have your standard, 25% where you can't beat none at all, and 25% where you go and beat up. Because that is the way you get to practice everything. Is attacks, is defend, is in playing a different modes. If you just play one type of team all the time where you just defend, then you don't develop. So I don't think any coach is gonna think about Brazil. I don't think this coach would think about Brazil at this time, and I wouldn't run it.
So if you say Brazil, if Brazil call right now, we can play the match, we say, go on, Jamaica.
Yeah, but some things no make sense when it comes to development.
Understand. Mr. Porter. He's in the house.
And
Let me hear from Sport
yes,
and then Ansi. Yes, Mr.
So
good
I just
afternoon,
want to
gentlemen.
go ahead.
And Mr. Speed is absolutely correct. Um, you don't want to play a very strong team at this time going into the Gold Cup. You need to play somebody who you can get a good game against in terms of you practice and experiment with certain things going into the Gold Cup. You cannot play Brazil, and I don't think Colombia. I think the best South America country for us to play to do certain things where we can try certain things is Venezuela, and Venezuela has a good population in Florida, and I think Venezuela is the team that we should look to get a game with going into the Gold Cup.
So Coach Porter, good afternoon. I was just, but I gotta let you speak ahead. I think maybe I'm having problems with communication. I said, in terms of marketing only and revenue generation, because I don't have any idea about what the technical value would be. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what games, and not only now with the Gold Cup, because as I said, I think the planning of friendlies needs to be over a longer period of time. But that in terms of the filling of the stadium, when Jamaica played Brazil in the Gold Cup, in the Orange Bowl, the stadium was sold out, and it was sold out almost equally between Jamaicans. I mean, although both of us were wearing yellow, so you couldn't tell, but we know as going before the game and after the game that it was 50-50 between Jamaicans and the Brazil diaspora. I don't know if you get a game at Brazil at short notice. I wasn't the person that raised that. That was Manning's man. But I would ask, for example, of why you would choose, why would you select Venezuela over Colombia, if you can share with us?
Good
Because the
question.
Colombian
Because
diaspora is much larger.
yeah, but I said it in what I said earlier. They're a stronger team, and I think we don't need to play a strong team that can beat us. We need to play a team that we can practice or train certain things against in terms of style of play, free kicks, set pieces. We can use it as a training game because Venezuela is not a powerhouse. And I think with us playing them, it gives us the chance to do those things. But in us playing Colombia, Uruguay, and all those teams, it will put a little bit of strain on us to get certain things out of the game and like because they're gonna have lion's share of the football, because we don't really possess the ball. So we're not gonna get the ball so we can create chances and get fouls against them to practice your free kicks, your corner kicks. But Venezuela is a team that we can exploit, get a lot of corners from them, maybe 5, 6 corners out of the game, maybe 6 free kicks or 4 free kicks in or around the box. We're not gonna get that against those teams.
One is one.
Go ahead, Ansi.
Ah, is it the marketable part of it why you want to play Venezuela, or because if it's not for the money, the full in the stadium, I don't see why we need to play Venezuela. We could have picked any team in the Caribbean and play if that we want practice.
Yeah, but it,
I'm gonna
is
understand.
it
Is the
is,
market
is it about the money, or you want to see how the team is performing going into the Gold Cup?
So that's
Because
what
going into
Ansi,
the Gold Cup, if we win the Gold Cup, there is money coming in.
it's a Porter. So that is what Unseen is saying. What Unseen is saying is that
Hmm.
you don't have to play Venezuela then. If you want to see how the team is playing, you can play
Dominican Republic?
you can play Barbados, play Bahamas.
Yeah,
I
but
was
you,
I
you
was just
still
going to
you
rate
still want
Bahamas.
a team that can give you a test. you still don't want a team that you're gonna
Chile.
walk over
Yeah, but what I was,
because it
what I, all right, but Mr. Porter, so the one challenge I'll have is that when you're talking
mhm.
about Venezuela and breaking it down that you can get 5 corners and 3 free kicks, I
Might be
don't
the
think the
future.
football can be the football. Yeah, quick. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, I
No,
just
but I'm just saying it is easier for us to get those. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna definitely get it, than
no,
playing a
no,
strong team where we're not gonna get nothing.
no, Mr. Porter. We got corners against Argentina. We got free kicks against Argentina,
Yeah,
and
but how
Argentina
many?
won the World Cup. We played Mexico. We played Mexico. And we got lots of free kicks and corners. We play USA. We got. I don't
So Manny,
understand.
Give me a
Manny,
chance.
Go on,
Hold
Esther.
Manny,
on a sec. I think. Hold on a sec, Keter. Marlon trying to say something. So, sorry, Keter, and then you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I understand what Devon is saying. If you're talking from a strategic standpoint to play a team like who you're gonna match up with, because basically I'm looking to see Curacao as a fourth team. It would be really unlikely if they don't make it from the playing. But if you want to find a Spanish team that match up to probably Nicaragua, because they're a team who possess the ball and pass the ball around a lot, right? A lot of people might say, yeah, it's a straight 3 point, but they are well organized, and you see how they play against Trinidad already. But if as Devon is saying about Venezuela is not the soft Venezuela that we know from 10, 15 years
Yeah.
ago. Venezuela, you know that in South America, Venezuela, Peru are two of the teams that possess the ball most on there over Brazil and even Argentina.
Well, Venezuela had a good World Cup. It's just 1 point they missed out from going playing the qualifiers.
They're not the soft
Play now.
team are
Yeah.
before now. But I think for a friendly game, play the teams that are in CONCACAF. El Salvador is there, right? And
But
they're a team.
do you want to play teams that are also in the World Cup in your preparation? I don't know if
Yes,
you want to do that.
yes.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that because again, you might come to a situation where they try to kick you down and injure one of your players, just in case I buck you up later on. I Coach
It's
Devon,
the same
Man,
I
thing.
want
Same
I
thing.
want to
Hold on,
Analyzing. Because if I'm El Salvador and I'm gonna say okay, I have Haiti to play or I have Panama to play, and I go up against Jamaica, but we might face him in long run. So it's from both ends.
all right. You were saying something, Mr. Speedy, or was it unseen? And then Cat.
No, I wasn't saying anything. Sorry, bro.
Unseen, and then Cataract.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh,
Continue.
Cataract, go
so,
ahead.
what I was wanting to ask Devon and Mr. Speed was to explain, and again, every time I ask it, I seeking knowledge, or seeking for the wider public to understand these things, because some of these things are technical, which we don't know. We are just fans. Some games we want to see. When we were in 1998, Jamaica was fearless. We played the big guns. We played teams with high ranking. Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Brazil, which was the number one team in the world at the time, and I can't remember all the friendly matches that we played, but I don't remember us playing minnows in our preparation, and that is partially what helped us to get even better for that final phase of
Cataract. We
yes.
started the '98 campaign with when René Simons came to Jamaica. The first game we played was in Jamaica. It was I think it's either November, December '94.
Never you have to
And
listen
we
more,
lost,
brother.
and then listen, and then leading up to that, we play Norway, we play Paraguay, I think we played Uruguay, and then we start playing some African teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but in between,
I'm talking about
what
between the between the first round, the first circular round, and the final octagonal that we played. That's what I'm talking about.
No,
The
man.
friendly that we played.
All right, let's speed answer Ketterer.
So,
Because I
Keter,
see.
Go ahead.
it's two different situations. When Simons came here first, Simons played 52 games in a 1 year. Him play against everybody, he could have get to play against him. Weak, strong, indifferent. When him can't get nobody to play, Simons go play some parish team. So, so I was saying, in the development process, right? Where the coach just comes, so he's still in his development stage where he's trying to find what the players can do in front of his eyes, not videos or where somebody telling. So all I'm saying, to play against Argentina or Brazil, where is one basic function I'm going to be doing for most of the match, and it's called defending, because of the pressure those teams are going to bring. It might not help him to prepare for other things like attacking and mid game play. That's all we say. So we're not saying that him shouldn't play a strong team or he should be afraid of anybody, because I'm sure he's not afraid of anybody. But there is a preparation stage, and that is where he's at now. After I'm sure of what the team can do, then he won't be afraid of playing anybody. That's what I was.
Hold on unseen, because T got came on. He dropped off
That's
the
guys,
stream.
never put in the earplug now.
T got. Let me tell you. Yes, T got.
All right, big up.
Man. And the right T got this are the counterfeit T got.
Big up. Hey, I tell you now. T got Davis, that coach Arnett Garden.
You man stuck already.
You mean the bongo man?
Yes, he's my uncle. I'm not. You can ask him. He's not nothing bogus. He's my uncle. All right. That out of it. All right.
So let me ask you something. Tell me one next coach in Jamaica that is related to T-Gat. Let me say if I a real uncle for you.
One next coach. No, speed. Me no know. Honestly, me no know. Me no know nobody else.
Say you don't know your family, cause if
No, because you know what I'm saying. When we find out that T got related, we couldn't believe it neither. So it's just that. My name is Tyrone Davis, you know. Tyrone Davis, my name, you know. My name Tyrone Davis. Anyway.
yeah. You know, your Fabian Davis related?
No, me and Fabian Davis are related.
Cause of Davis.
I mean, no know if I'm related.
All right, go ahead.
All right, when Mr. Speed say, I agree with what Mr. Speed said. It's a preparation, you understand? And I think if I was a coach, I do respect everybody's opinion, what they say. But if I was a coach and I said the team that drawn, I would play a team that plays similarly to the other teams. Like play a team that plays similarly to USA, play a team that plays similarly to Nicaragua and all of. So you're preparing the team. Because if you're going to do a maths exam, you can't study English or physics. You have to prepare yourself to do the maths exam. So if I was a coach, I know that Brazil is a good team to play, or Colombia is a good team. I want to try to pick like those teams. As the Speed say, if you're going to pick those teams, you're going to be defending. And we're not in that stage right now. We need to play teams that play similarly to the team that we're going to play in the World Cup to get the team best prepared for the World Cup and get results.
So T-Gat, we're not going to defend against the USA.
Eh? No, but if we play a team, hold on. If we play, I say USA play long ball, or they're a speed player. When we play a team that play use speed or the long ball or short ball, we can prepare for the US team. If they're playing fast and we play a team similar, we can prepare. So we're not going really in much defending. We know how to counter attack and stuff like that. For example, when Jamaica never make it to the when England make it to the World Cup and England had Trinidad to play. You know who England called to play for a qualification practice match? Jamaica. So So they were looking forward to play Caribbean teams because they're going to play Trinidad in their zone. So they play Jamaica.
That makes sense.
So whenever you're going to play a team, you just play a team that play like the other team and get the team prepared for the World Cup. The aim is to win the World Cup, Not even not to come out of this one, but to win the World Cup. So if you play a team that best play like the opposite team, so you can move forward. That's all. That's just my opinion.
Go ahead, Anthony.
So that's me. I can take out the earpiece then now. Yeah, yeah, man is man.
So, hold on, let me read Tennessee comment for those who can't see. One says, tell Mr. Speed to give T-Got a job so he can confuse the opponent with his loud voice. Go ahead and see.
Tennessee, when I love my friend in Tennessee. Anyway, man is man. But my thing and the matter is that we are here talking about practice games and stuff. And at the end of the day, we can bet you say the team you're gonna play the practice game not gonna be the team you're gonna play in the competition.
Huh?
Most of the players them not gonna be in the competition.
No, but that is your squad.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? It's a FIFA window in June.
It's a FIFA window.
Yeah, it's a FIFA
There's
window.
a FIFA window.
We don't know what the coach. I
So
think
the coach will
can
call
say
him
him
World Cup squad and see him.
one of my man, the coach can say him go, all right, and go look on some players. We
What?
make the World Cup, not the practice game.
No,
Before the minute.
no, but
And
listen,
we're stopping for players right now. We're stopping for players right now.
hold on, both are wrong. Hold on, both are wrong. The window is wide enough to play 2 matches, so you can use one for look on one and use one for prepare.
And Mr. Speed,
The window in
Mr.
June, hold on, Mr. Porter. The window in
Okay.
June is a week before the preliminary of the Gold Cup. I believe if the coach is going to play games, the players for those games will be the players that are going to be a part of his Gold Cup squad. So if there's a provisional squad, what he can do is have suppose you can only read, I don't know what it is, 26 players, but you can have a provisional squad of say 32, right?
World
But
Cup
by
provisional squad of 50.
50, yeah. So what he can do is say, okay, I need to see this player and that player, these two. But the core of that group of players who going to play must be the players that he's going to bring to the World Cup because he's not going to have any more window to play any more game to prepare.
But
After that,
True.
he's going
But it's because you guys looking at preparation only as playing games.
no.
Because
And
Hold on,
Mr. Speed,
Porter.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Mr. Porter. Mr. Speed finish and then you come in. Go ahead, Mr.
no,
Speed.
Mr. Porter finish. Sometimes good for somebody to start.
Go ahead, Mr. Porter.
No, I couldn't hear him, I couldn't hear him. But what I'm
What I was
saying,
saying, Mr. Porter, is that go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, all right, hold on.
yeah.
Mr. Speed,
So
hold on,
I heard the part that he says,
Mr. Porter. Mr. Porter.
a lot of people looking at games as preparation.
Mr. Porter.
Yes, games can be preparation, but if I
Mr. Porter.
Mr. Porter,
Hello?
the type
Yeah,
of
man,
Jamaica that doesn't stop for the police.
Something seemed to be wrong with your all right, because I can't. All right, finally it
oh,
worked.
too.
All right, hold on.
Is it working?
All right, hold on.
Internet man.
Yeah, something is wrong with the internet. So you're having a delay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm on the road, as a matter of fact, so I'm not at home. So
That's the problem.
Yes. So you're having a delay. So just sign out and sign back in.
okay.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Mr. Speedy, with what you were saying.
No, I was saying that when you have a team like this where the coach don't know the players intimately, but you could think that you want to play 3 games in the winter to and let the players play 3 games. But there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. The team that you want to play in the Gold Cup, those players are players who are playing for 9 months. Them kind of tired. So you don't want to make them play 3 games in the window or 2 games. But there's always coaches who look at they know who their best 16, 18 players are. I mean, we give Paul a hard time for it, but that's how coaches think. They know who is the certain ones, and they know, and then they have a list of maybes. Every coach have it in all form of football. So it is possible that you might want to play a game with the guys, even if they're in your 18 and they're not getting a lot of playing time, you want them in that early game, the first game in the window, so them can catch up some playing time. Because we have a lot of those players too, right? That don't play every match. The ones that play every match, you really don't want them play because they're probably tired. You want them only play one game in the window because you don't want them tired out, right? So there's a lot of permutation that you have to go through, and that is why you might still be looking at some players early in the window. Play some who you want to pick for the next 4 or 5 players who you want sure say them you want. And then you want to rest some players who have been playing every game over the season. And the ones who haven't been playing, you want to throw them in that game so they can get some playing time. So there's a whole heap of things to be accomplished when you're building a team. Also, a lot of good coaches believe that while the game is good for preparation, it is also better for him to have all the players in camp so they can go through the different game models that they want to play, how to defend, how to attack. They can practice it over and over and over and over. They can look at videos of the teams that they're going to play and say this one is going to play like this, which is different from the team that you're playing in the practice match. The team that you're going to be playing, you want to practice for them on your training pitch, which is much different from playing in a practice match where you might think they're getting things out there, which they don't get the things that they want. So the coaches probably prefer the preparation time to have the squad on their pitch to go through the motions of what the team are going to do and how they might counter attack it. So football is very complex. It's not so, as most people see it, just one off. Very complex situation.
All right. Ketara.
It's an interesting discussion on different perspectives. As I said, my perspective is about how we get some things to fill the coffers out of that FIFA window, because we hear of, there's need for money to do a lot of things. So that will yield to the technical people, etc. Whatever preparation is best for Jamaica to be able to be in the best position to go to the Gold Cup finals and hopefully to win the trophy for the first time in our history. That's what I would support. So I have to put my trust in the coach and his judgment and his experience, and hope that he will deliver the long-awaited silverware that we have been so wanting in this region. So that's all I have to say on this particular thing. I would do like to hear from Mr. Speed if within the JFF there have been discussions at the board or the management's level about marketing the games in the Gold Cup on this occasion, and about putting together packages for the fans in Jamaica who wish to travel and support the team. If those things have begun, because we are about 2 months away from the kickoff.
All right. Keter, before you move to that, I want to make sure that Marlon, you had anything to say on the whole games and stuff situation before we get to Ketterak about marketing and the Gold Cup. You and Tigat, I just want to make sure if any of you had anything else you wanted to say about that.
No, man, but
yeah.
I think two will be good. Will be definitely good.
I'm getting a feedback. Hold on, let me see. Let me mute Tigat. Tigat, I think there's a feedback on your end. Go ahead, Marlon.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, I think as Mr. Speed said about the preparation process, I think 2 games were good. Get your feet wet going in to the tournament, right? You basically have everything finalized, because it's gonna be a tough competition. It's not a walkover. I think each team will have their best players there, right? And especially with the Nation League matches before the semi-final and final as well. So US and Canada and Panama, they're basically having high quality game going into that competition as well. And as we can see, Canada had the most favorable draw. So 2 preparation game and the whole training camp to get the players up. We see how fast we get MLS players, as remember they're still in season. So that's another thing again. So you basically might have 3 or 4 players out there. But in general, I wasn't here from the start of the program, but I think we and Canada had to the best favorable draw, because avoiding Group B and C, where we see the big boys will be up against each other. So yeah, man. So it's a good look going forward.
Yeah. Cataract, I think Cataract,
I
I
heard,
want you to take this. This question is for you, Cataract.
yeah,
Why
there's
would the
Warner.
JFF market the games? It's not their gate. So that's the question. So see if we can respond to that, and then I'll let I think Mr. Porter is back. So why would the JFF market the game?
So I'm going to take it in the best possible light that I could possibly take that question. Firstly, because crowd support and the 12th man is important to a team. And so the more of your fans that you have in the stadium, the louder the cheering and more vociferous the support is for the team. When a team looks up on the field and sees its colors blanketing the stadium, there's increased motivation. I can't tell you where to go and look and read that up, but anybody can direct you to sports psychology. On the other hand, in terms of coffers, if they are 10 or 20,000 Jamaicans at, and I'm just saying, I don't know the stadium that's being played at, but let's say the Orange Bowl, right? Or the stadium in Fort Lauderdale. If there are 20 or 25,000 Jamaicans there, that's a chance to sell 20 or 25,000 shirts. So they would benefit by the merchandise being sold to the fans who turn up on the day.
Okay, all right. So Cataract has answered that. Hope that answers the question, Deswana. All right, Mr. Porter is back, and then I will go to Tiga. Mr. Porter, you were making a point before you got cut off, so finish up your point now.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly though?
Yes, sir. We are hearing you clearly.
Okay, what I was saying, that I agree with Mr. Speed, because it's not only game, it's preparation. You know, if I was in that position, I would probably play only one game in that window, because that window is I think it's a 10-day window, and then the 26th the World Cup start, and then you can use the rest of time to mold your team how you want your team to look and play going into the World Cup. So I wouldn't overwhelm the players there with 2 games in that window, because
Okay.
most of them coming off a long season, and you don't want to fear the worst.
So maybe that's where unseen point made sense, where we were saying that you can you can have a bigger squad, probably look at some players, and then you give those your 18 core players the second game, and then what you can do is that, maybe you see 6. Suppose, just hypothetically speaking, you have players from Europe who get documentation, and you want to look at them. You let them play in one of those games, I think, and then you have an 18 core, and if it's a 24-man squad, then you can add 6 based on what you see in the game. So maybe something like that can work. I think Unseen was saying, and Mr. Speed was saying something like that earlier. But
Yeah, that
Unseen,
can work. Yeah.
yeah. T-Got, what say you on the matter? And then Unseen will be moderated.
Okay. This is more likely a question to Mr. Speed. Mr. Speed, you know that the football fan, let me see if I can use this analogy. We're in a desert trying to get some water, and the water is the World Cup, right? Will the coach be assessed or judged? I know that the coach is hired to take us to the World Cup, but if the coach doesn't perform good in the World Cup, will he be judged and assessed by his performance in the World Cup?
As you know, coaching is a result orientated
T-Got, you have a
job.
mute when you're not speaking. There's a terrible feedback. Yeah, go ahead.
the coach never said he'll pick a young squad for the Gold Cup. The coach is going to pick a squad to try and win the Gold Cup. He's here for winning things. But a coach is always being assessed. Like every time a national coach of Jamaica goes and play overseas, they have to write a report, and we look at it and decide if we're satisfied, or we look at it to say if there should be any policy changes. Not team, we don't pick team, but policy changes that will help the Jamaica team to perform better. So the coach is always being assessed. But and that is, yeah, the job is always on the line.
All right. So let me ask. All right. Let me ask. T got a question in response. All right. So, what are your expectations, T got, of the coach going into the Gold Cup?
To go expect. All right, as I say, we as a Jamaican fan, we hungry. We need something. You understand? So we don't want to win. We know it's very difficult to win, but we would love to win the World Cup as go as far as possible, like a final again. You understand? But the coach was hired to bring us to the World Cup, not to win the World Cup. That's all I'm saying. If it be
No, man. So
Yeah,
no,
but
man.
Tigat,
See,
if Tigat, there's
yeah.
a process that you can see the progression. So don't believe that these things happen overnight. There's a progression. What I want to see is not by some luck we win the Gold Cup. I want to see us be able to compete with the top teams in the CONCACAF. Compete on even grounds. So even if the match can go either, so the match look like it's not the case now where you don't want to see you have 20% possession and you win the game. Of course you want to win, but that's not that is you looking at it from a fan point of view. Where you want to look at it is from a technical point of view, where you see us. So when we go up against USA, you want to give as good as we get in terms of keeping possession, to attacking them with impunity, not catching and trying to get some lucky breaks and say we're playing. What we really want to see from the team is the improvement where we can play anybody. So sometimes even when you do well with that team, the results don't must go your way. So it's not that we're going to say, coach, you have to win the World Cup or to get sacked. No, that's not on the cards. What we want to see is the improvement to the team over a period of time, where we know, say, at some point in time, we will be able to play everybody on even. So we are Mexico play an even game. It can go anywhere. We are USA play, even it can go anywhere. We are Canada play, even it can go anywhere. If we see that progression, then we know, say, if that happening at the year one, then we are looking for further progression at year two, further progression at year three. So it's not like, oh, you're thinking of it. Say we in a desert, or we know we nothing for the longest while. That is important, but what is more important is that we can play anybody in the world and have a chance. That is what is most important.
Yeah, and what I'll say before I invite Brian on is that, so if for 10 years we have been failing and a coach get the job, though we the fans have been suffering for 10 years, we can judge the football for 10 years, but we can't let that load expectations on the coach, because we have been suffering for 10 years. Because whatever thing you're running, the coach is new at the end of the day. So you have to almost begin to make the judgment from his start point, and not your history or our history of hurt because of the failure of the stuff. We have to say, okay, let's begin to judge him from the start, and not based on the failures of 10 and 6 years running. That's one way to also look at it. But Brian is here as well, so let me hear from Brian and see
Before
that.
Brian come in, management, just to stay on the point, I just wanted to say that in the history of this World Cup, only two teams has ever won it. 17 times it played. Mexico and US are the ones who won it, except for 1 year. one time. It was won by Canada in year 2000. So no, so it's like it's a total domination. But that didn't stop Canada from becoming a competitive nation to those two countries in our last World Cup qualifier. That is what we're looking for, where the nation become competitive in our every World Cup qualifier. Like the World Cup qualifier before this one, we went out in not the hexagonal round, no, we went out in the preliminary round
Preliminary,
before
yeah.
the hexagonal round. Those are the things we don't want to see anymore. Those are, we want to be in with a chance every time we play and know say, and we know, and USA if we know so we can beat them anytime we play them. Mexico if we know so we can beat them anytime we play them. That is where we want to reach, and I'll be satisfied.
All right. Brian, what say you? Cataract, and then I'll take Cataract. Cataract, you have to answer to Andre Bravo's comment. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, afternoon, morning. They hearing me clearly?
Yeah, man, we are hearing you.
Yeah, man. Afternoon to the persons on the panel. Yeah, I tend to agree with the point you made just now. But before that, I think it's a decent draw that we had in the Gold Cup. Um, I think I would prefer for us to play USA now than Mexico in the preliminary rounds. Um, but yeah, further to your point about not allowing the hurt of the past to determine how you feel in the present or maybe in the future. But I also think that international coaches need a little bit more time than we give to like club coaches because I mean for an entire year, all things being equal, you may be able to play about 10 games or so for the entire year, and you only get to assemble a team for 7 days for the most part. And also, we as in Jamaica is not a footballing powerhouse, so everything won't be perfectly aligned and stuff. So there are things that you have to give and take within some regards. So I don't think that this World Cup would be a fair way to assess whether or not the coach is doing a good job or not. Um, I think he need a little bit more time based on the other variables that's involved in the entire process.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point. And listen, I mean, um, again, welcome people. Welcome to the chat. Remember, hit the like button. I think we're 16, right? Fresh God likes away from 100. Do that. It is Super Friday. All right, so remember to leave your super stickers and super chat as well. Cataract, before the game say before the game said that a beautiful Trini broke your heart. You saw that, Cataract? You want to respond?
I have many Trini ladies,
All
from
right.
Arima to Tuna Puna to Diego Martin.
Huh? To what?
Diego Martin.
That's
Diego
a place
Martin.
or a person.
That's a place, sir. And he would know, right? And hold on. With this name of the place, there's a name of the place that begins with it's a Spanish word, sir. Diego
Oh,
Martin. Rata,
no, no. Because why I
right?
ask is because you said you
And
have many girls
no,
that are
that's
Trinis, and then you said
no, that's an
Spanish.
incident. And I'm naming the ports where
Oh,
I'm naming the cities where I have them, so he can go check, and he can be worried if he has a lady there in any one of those vacations.
just
Um,
wanted to clarify.
yeah, big up the Muslims and the rest of them. You know what I mean? The whole Trinity people. But I wanted to chime in on that question, Mannings, man. I think it would be unfortunate if we have given someone a 4 year or a 3 year project, that in the first year and at the first hurdle we start talking about firing coach. No, the coach would have to lose 6-0 to Curacao and 6-0 to Nicaragua and 21-0 to the United States for them even to enter into any such conversation. But the the basis of giving someone a project is that you have to allow for win, lose, and draw, unless we are not being told correctly. But winning the Gold Cup or reaching the semi-finals of the Gold Cup, while that's what we would like as fans, that's not the mandate set out, as I understand it, to this coach. But I also want to challenge Mr. Speed, as I love to do, that I heard the coach say that he would like to select a young squad with players who would be in the mix for the 2026 World Cup rather than selecting older players who may not be around for the 2025 qualification round of matches for the 2026 World Cup. That's what I heard him say, and people in the chat you can confirm. Not in those words, but that's what I picked up from what he was saying, that he would like to select a younger squad of players.
Yeah,
Not really.
I can tell you what, but go ahead, Mr. Porter. But
Not really. What he's saying that when you look at a team going into a tournament,
into a tournament, it was very
yeah,
specific. Go ahead, Mr. Porter.
yes, World Cup, Gold Cup, whichever tournament you're going into, you always have your 15, 16, 17 players that are playing the predominant minute. That means these players are the senior players, and then you bring the players
You're
who's
under
gonna
21.
learn to take over
Right.
from them the young 17, 18, 19, 20 to make up the
So
squad,
he was
even
right.
though they're not gonna get enough playing time.
So that's what he was saying. So he was talking about that when you go to the tournaments of this nature, he spoke about having a group of players. This would be a senior players, but then you bring in the players. They may not get time, but they are going to be a part of the mix because you have to be progressing the team. That is what
Experience
I
to
heard.
learn to
Thank,
gain
thank, thank you for that.
experience. Yes.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank
So
you very much for that clarification.
I don't see any problem with that. That's
No, no,
what I
no,
see.
absolutely none at all.
Because listen, and let me say this too. When the coach talk about young player, we need to remember, that the what's his name? Omari Hutchinson is young.
Dexter
Um,
Lembekisi is
Dexter
young.
Lembe is young. These are young players. The goalkeeper Jamali Wait, young. These are young players. Kaim Paris is young. These are young players. Oh my lord. Jeez. Jonathan Russell is young. So these are young players. So that don't
Right.
mean you will not see a Leon Bailey, you will not see a Mikel Antonio, you will not see a Ethan Pinnock. I don't think that's what he was saying.
No, no, but I didn't get that. And I said thanks for the clarification because sometimes you are closer to the call. My name is Devon. I know you have a rapport. But so the clarification was there because we could have been led down another route. But again, it's sound reasoning. It's certainly a departure from our usual approach to the Gold Cup, which is that we tended to carry a full weight of a squad, and in general, that squad largely outside of the goalkeeper, and even in the last Gold Cup, Dylan Barnes got his maiden cap, his maiden competitive cap in the group stage match. So it's interesting, and I look forward to seeing who are those young starlets who are given the nod. I really do.
Cataract. They won't be starless. They will be Rose Royce.
No, and I'm not going there with you. Well, no, not a Toyota Starlet, but I think there'll be some Honda Accord and some nicer vehicle. Not a Toyota Starlet, but if you getting me a Rolls Royce and I'm going to speak this brawling and you can get vexed, that must mean that you have Levi Colwell and
All right,
speed
so
dial to
there's a
come
little
in.
thing. I think sometimes when they talk about, but let me be real
No, man.
now.
We are teased now, man. We have our banter, man. Man, it's bad.
No man. Different thing are going on. Hold on, let me take this call and then have a point to me. Flavor Max.
Hello?
Flavor Max.
Yeah, man, it's long time when I talk, but quickly. Let me tell you this, man, is
Good
man.
afternoon.
Good afternoon to the panel and the
Yeah, man.
listeners. The honeymoon period is over, man. It's business time. You see, from here on in, every competition, whether it is a Nation League, whether it is a Gold Cup, it is business. We want to see our best players out there playing. And while we are not going to fire the coach because a few results don't go our way, we want to see consistent progress. And here is what consistent progress look like. Every time we play one of those competitions, the gap between us and Canada, Mexico, and USA should be closing. As one of y'all say, the gap should be closed, and we should think we have a proper chance of beating any of those teams. And remember, the deeper we're going in this competition, is the more
So let me
we
ask you a
get high
question,
profile
Favor Max.
matches.
Hold on one second. Let me just ask you one question and then to continue. Do you believe that there are people who don't share the views that you have?
A lot of people don't share the views we have.
What
Because people believe.
what so if they don't share the view, so you're saying that there are people who don't believe that when we play, every time Jamaica take the field, we should be closing the gap between us and the big team. You're saying that people don't believe that that should be the case?
Some they want to see that, but they're not willing to put on their feet to demand what it takes to see that. So, for example, some people don't have a problem with we losing certain games back to back. Some people don't have a problem with we
No, no,
not
no, no, no,
seeing
no, 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 no,
consistent
no, no, no,
progress.
no, 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 no. So let's break it down. Who are the
Mm-hmm.
people? Who are the people who don't have an issue when Jamaica consistently lose game?
Man, we
Because
have
I don't hear that
issues,
on
of
my channel.
course.
And I've not heard one person who says, "Boy, I don't have a problem when Jamaica lose the games." I've
No, no,
never
no,
heard that.
no, no. It's not the result itself. The ideology and the methodology is different. So for me, for example, Whitmore have a poor
No,
Gold
man,
Cup
no, 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 no,
before
no,
the
no, no,
last
no.
qualifier.
Flavor Max, before you give me an example, we need to solve
Mm-hmm.
this issue of what people are thinking, because you have raised an issue that I am trying
Yeah,
to figure out. Who in
yeah.
their right mind sit down and say Jamaica need to keep on losing?
No, I never say people say Jamaica should keep on losing, man.
What are the people okay with? What ideology are they okay
People
with?
are okay with the result not consistently going our way, and we are not consistently seeing progress
No,
and willing to give more time than is needed to achieve certain goals to the coach. I am not one such
so
person.
here there are two different.
I have a fair idea
Let's not
of the
conflict.
time.
Let's not
Hmm.
conflate issues. Let's not conflate issues. So let's talk about one thing. First thing, I don't
Hmm.
believe that people who watch Jamaica football, no matter who the coach is over the years, have said, okay, it is okay for Jamaica to lose games. I don't believe people are like that. Now, if you want to say that coaches should be given X time, Y time, and be assessed, T got asked that question. And every
Hmm.
time any one of our coaches take out a team, whatever the result is, they must be assessed. And if the coach is failing
Hmm.
and they have reasonable time to do their job, then simple, the coach, any whomever they are, must go. Now, Jamaica went, and Formula brought up a very good one. Jamaica went to Mexico and they drew a game with Mexico. Jamaicans celebrate
Hmm.
because that suggests, like you said, that the gap closed. We can't say the coach
Yeah,
didn't win and say, okay, because he didn't win, that must be counted against him. When you're saying that
hmm,
when we play, the gap must be closed because drawing in the Azteca
yeah,
is also seen as closing the gap, even if you don't win. But we would prefer to win the game.
yeah.
Go ahead. So I'll give it back to you now. Flavor Max. Hello,
So Mannings,
Flavor Max.
he's over and out.
No man, Flavor Max, Flavor Max, Flavor Max. I don't know. Somebody.
He's
Flavor Max,
over and out.
Flavor Max. I don't know what happened. Call back. All right, go ahead, Keter.
Right. Look, I want to win tournaments. I want to win matches. I like the feeling. It's enjoyable. Me and my brethren them. But I see the big picture. I want to go to the World Cup. I want to qualify to the World Cup. I want my country at the big dance. Right? Now the two are not mutually exclusive. However, when one is a stepping stone to the other, then I have to take the steps. And I'm prepared to take the steps. I don't know what some people say that I get whatever way with reasoning. I believe that where the parameters are set out and the performance indicators are there, and I understand from the JFF, Mr. Speed is there. He conducted all the interviews. He can tell us what, if he wishes to, what those parameters were that were laid out to the coach. But as far as I know it is to qualify the team to 2026. And that's what I'm judging him by. I said I had some other things. I have seen him go out and seek to recruit some of the best talent available. I've seen the coach make efforts to go toe to toe with Gareth Southgate. Okay, he was unsuccessful in this instant, but I am happy for that because I don't want a coward coach around my team. And so for me, everything is on track as we are now. So unless the train goes spectacularly off the rails, then, as the Afrobeat song said, let's calm down. For me,
All right, so Keter, cool. Let's start. Mr. Speed, I want you to, because Flavor Max has called back. I mean, what are your thoughts on? I mean, what Keter just said, which is kind of similar to what I am saying. Um, Mrs.
All right. So just to give you some more insights that we know of. The truth is that the team that we had playing in the World Cup qualifier average age was like way above what is considered the optimum age for a World Cup winning team, which is 27, a little over 27 years. That's the average age that ever win a World Cup. So we don't have to go back and invent the wheel, It's there already. But the average age of teams is trending down from that 27 and a half that it was 4 years ago. It's trending down now. You had a lot of players who were 21, 22, 20 in the last World Cup doing exceptionally well. So a lot of people tend to keep on. It's good for you to know history and even to know present, but what you have to do is to anticipate. The really good people anticipate what's going to happen in 4 years' time. And that's the trick. That's where you see the class come out, when somebody can anticipate what's going to happen in 4 years' time. Clearly, if we care about the same team at 28 and a half now, average age, then by 2026, the average age will be 32 and a half, which clearly there's no team in the world. The average age of team in the World Cup is not that. So I think if you put everything into perspective, definitely the coach has to reduce the average age of the team. He do have a choice. So that is going to be the trick that he's going to have to perform. Reduce the average age, still remain competitive and relevant, and prove to us that he's the man for the job by the different steps that the team takes. So I am with what Cataract, the technical person, said, not Cataract, the fan, right?
But I still come to the supporter. Flavor Max, continue what you were saying. I don't know what happened to the phone.
Yeah, man. And so what I'm saying is that sometimes we believe that 4 or 3 years is a lot of time. That's not a lot of
We
time, man. It's
who? We who? But when they say we,
based on how some of the fans, some of the fans speak, man, is like 4 years is 10 years. 4 years is as a queen, 4 years come. So we want us to run the program. Like, 4 years is not a long time. We have to do what we have to do now, management. And the Gold Cup and these competitions are very important, and we have to take them serious. It's
So
not just rehearsal.
yeah, but
How
what
we
I'm
look
saying,
in the
Flavor
Gold Cup
Max,
is how we are going to look in the
what I'm
qualifiers.
saying, Flavor Max, you need to tell me, when has Jamaica not taken the Gold Cup serious?
For example, them I can give you an example,
Give me
man.
an example.
I came on this program, and say, based on how Tapa Whitmore look with these players in the Gold Cup, if him don't perform or if he look a certain way, I don't think he should be the coach to take us through the qualifiers. I said that, and the man have a poor Gold Cup,
So, no man, here's
and
what
we see what happened. We take him across.
here's what I'm asking you. So 20, let's go back to the last editions of the Gold Cup. 2019, where did we go in the Gold Cup, Flavor Max?
Nah, we never do well in the Gold Cup.
What, in 2019?
The last edition of the Gold Cup before the qualifiers, we never do well.
So 29, no, we went to quarterfinals, didn't we, in the last edition?
And based on the team, who we beat? Which substantial team we beat?
Okay, so now you're going. So here's what I'm saying. Here's what you said. You said we need to take the Gold Cup serious.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, when have we not taken the Gold Cup serious? Because we have gone to finals, we have gone to semi-finals.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Man, I didn't think we took the last Gold Cup as serious as we should. I think that's what the caller is saying. And even then, there was no fallout from the underachievement at the Gold Cup.
Exactly.
What I'm saying, if you want to come and say you believe that the coach of the national team who took us to the Gold Cup should have been fired after the Gold Cup, you can say that. That you can say.
Well, I'm saying that. So fast forward now. Yeah. I don't want us to make the same mistake, even though it's a new coach.
Your point is, if this coach beats Nicaragua, who is not a significant team, beats Curacao, who is not a significant. Hold on, let me finish. Curacao is not a significant team. All right, so we beat them. He goes through to the next round, meets Canada because we draw with USA, but USA scored 10 against Nicaragua. We scored 5, so they have better goal difference. We play Canada, and Canada beat us. We should fire the coach.
No, I'm not saying we should fire the coach.
But we are at the
I want to see that.
And we haven't beaten any. Based on your logic, we would be in the quarterfinals.
No, you're not. No, I'm not saying we should fire the coach. I want to see that we are making consistent progress. That's what I say for this coach, because Whitmore has been around a while. So what I expected from him is a little bit different from this coach. From this coach, I want to see consistent progress in this Gold Cup.
So this coach,
and that progress.
No man. So let's go by logic, no, because you brought up the issue. You brought up the issue. So let me ask you: the coach has played. All right, Argentina friendly. So let's right. Cameroon away friend. So Argentina away in a friendly. Cameroon away in a friendly.
Cameroon. Trinidad.
Mexico away in a game that we drew. We drew with Cameroon away, drew with Mexico away. All right. We lost to the world champions that they played the same starting 11 in the World Cup. All right. We lost 3 to them. We played against with not our top team. We played 2 friendly games against Trinidad, 1-1 and lost 1. Are you suggesting that you have seen no progress, or how do you define progress?
We none against Trinidad. We draw 1
I said we lost 1 and we draw 1. We lost 1 and we draw 1. And based on those results, you are saying that you haven't seen no progress in terms of what the coach is doing.
We're all over the place. I haven't seen consistent progress thus far, in my opinion, and based on my marker. We're
So
all over the
how
place.
do you
Now, this
define
Gold Cup, I want to see consistent
define? You said
progress.
define
But
define consistent progress. Define it.
Okay, I will give you this and then a cut. Consistent progress, in my opinion, is I want to see a style of play, what we are working with, formation, etc.
No man,
I
they
want
can't
to
give me. They
see,
can't give me etc. You have
hold
to
on, the
explain.
man,
They can't.
hold on, the
I am
man,
saying, but
because him
yeah,
supposed to work out that by now, you
I
know.
know him and
I
you
don't
are
want to
give
see no
me
chop and
he.
change, chop and change, you
No,
know.
listen. Now tell me what the coach supposed to do. Give me a definition of consistent progress. So that me ask you how the coach coming at this. And me and you at
Yeah, me
talk.
not give you the definition.
But you
Me I
cannot
give you
say
the definition, you
etc.
know.
You say etc. How me ever understand your definition if you use etc?
It's by you know easy, you know. All right, so here what? Take your pen and paper, man.
Yeah,
So
hold on. Me get,
apart from
no,
result,
hold on.
because it's
All
a,
right, give me
apart.
yeah. May I write down your definition of
All right, so
consistent
you see
progress?
the team outside of USA, take a pen
No
and
man, no
paper.
man.
The
Give
team outside of USA, Canada, and Mexico. I
define.
want us to beat those teams
No man.
consistent.
No, consistent progress is defined as. Go ahead.
Consistent progress, in
a
my
def
opinion,
comedy on
is
this.
defined as. You hearing me?
Yeah man, it's defined as.
I want to see like the lower ranked team, Jamaica, with all of these big players, English-based players. Can we have some of the best set of players in the Conca Cup? I want to see that we are showing our levels, that
Remember,
we are
say you give me a
better than these
definition.
lower ranked
Remember, say you
teams.
give me a definition. You hear?
Yeah, man. So consistently beating these teams by 3 and 4, show our class. When it comes to the Mexico, the Canada, and the USA, I want us to play as if we are on par with them.
So we didn't. All right. So that then. Oh. So so
Consistent.
so we not
So
playing.
me know why we go draw with Mexico down at Mexico the other day, and then we come back Mexico beat us 3. I don't want to see that.
Okay.
Consistent is the operative word, man. Consistent. And
Okay.
then now I
So
will see the trajectory that we are on. And the next 2 years when qualify start, I can sit back and say, yes, I'm
okay.
confident.
All right.
If I'm not seeing that, the
Me,
coach has to go. We're not wasting no time on this man.
okay.
Because if we did fire with
No,
more,
the coach don't got to go.
we would have gone a World Cup.
Okay. All right, sir. All right, sir.
I'm
So
out.
I'm out.
Yes.
All right. Big up for your
Yep.
Man,
Man is man.
uncomfortable to sit.
Man
Hold
is
on,
man.
Devon, hold on. I had
All
my
right.
hand raised. I'm uncomfortable sitting on a program and we entertaining people for an extended period, speaking about firing the coach. I'm very uncomfortable with it. Very. I don't have my face there. You know, and they're wrong when them conversation happen because I find that counterproductive. I find that almost treasonous. It's not a good look. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere and I have a job I play catcher. So every time a man I talk about, yo, the next time in play 145, I'll fire him. And by the way, it's not me, man, I just need to set the record clear. If a juggling sound throw a word, I'm a right off and kill the sound. It's not me lowering my standard to kill a juggling sound. Don't tell a juggling sound to come talk to a killer. Please. That I just saying that because nowadays now people are talking about the quality of sound that I'm killing, just like how they are talking about the quality of opponent. The man is on the coach is on a project. He will lose some games because he's taking matches in order to experiment and to check out and test the levels of players. So we have to give him that latitude.
I'm trying
There's
to
only
see.
one
I'm trying
game.
to see.
There's only
I'm trying.
one game on which
I
I
was
can
trying.
judge the
I was
coach,
trying to write
and
down the
that is the
definition.
and
So
that
I
is the
was.
one draw in Mexico.
Yeah.
Competitive game, and he came through, in my humble opinion, in flying colors on all boxes checked, except and save that we didn't get the victory that was needed. But getting an away victory in a higher ranked team away from home is a rare feat not done by many countries. So, Coach Hallgrimsson get ticky in my book. 100% support to the ultra. There's not one ultra that's saying that the coach must start scrutinize the coach and PP cluck cluck. Allow him to think. Sir, Coach Devon and Marines, I have a question.
Here is the thing, Cataract, because I have to
Mr.
go.
Porter, go. Go, Mr. Porter. Yeah, 'cause I know you have to run.
Here is the thing. It's a good thing that some of the callers who call in are not the one who hire the coach. And Mr. Speed, who is head of the technical committee, I know that he knows better because he's a coach himself, and a coach needs time to work with his player to formulate a system and for the players to grow within his system. Toronto FC, for example, every year they fired their coach because they're not winning. The one time they kept a coach for 4 years, they win the MLS Cup. Okay, so it needs time. It would be very, very hurtful to see that within 6 months of hiring this coach, if we don't win the Gold Cup, we're talking about firing the coach. And he's on a 4-year or whatever contract he's on. It would be very, very sad to see that.
No, Mr.
And I
Well,
know Mr. Speed. I know Mr. Speed know
Porter,
better than that.
All right,
So
let me say this, Mr. Porter. We're having a conversation that is not to me about fire. That's nonsensical. So we just gonna move on from it.
yes, it
I
make
don't
no
I don't think
sense.
people.
It make no sense, man, is
Yeah,
man.
so
True.
that's not a conversation to be had. That don't
And
make
then
sense.
on that
Yeah,
note, gentlemen,
yeah.
thanks for having me, and I have to go.
Yeah, man. All right.
All right. No,
We have just added a champion sound in the place. Teddy Lee High Power. Teddy Lee, welcome to the show.
Yeah, what's up? What's up? My day here, man. Big up the panelists, big up everybody. All right,
Yeah,
so before we leave off of the topic,
yeah.
yeah,
Hold on,
so
big up all the panelists.
yeah, man, everybody, for come on, we have to have manners and like some people. Yeah. So so before we leave off of the topic,
No, you have to listen now. You hear me I say, I really want because Mr. Speed is unaware of this, When I say some people, I know what Mr. Speed feel like. Mr. Speed and you the man that talk, so I just want you to know that, you understand
yeah,
me?
the beard up fellow we are talk boy. Yeah.
Not saw you at your demonstration with your 5 demonstrators
You
of the
know, matter five, a little
25,000
bit,
security
yeah.
guards.
Hello, we stick to football. Five
All
and
right,
how much you turn up, so yeah, how much yeah.
Tell me, you say you stick to football,
Yeah. Yeah, so regards to the coach, so we don't have to entertain nothing about firing, but we have to kind of be fair. Nobody not supposed to hold on for no position like we're supposed to select persons based on performance. And like how we judge Tapa, we supposed to can judge the same coach. So truth be told, may I give him a Gold Cup and at least 4 Gold Cup now at least will come out of the group stage. And I believe this coach will come out of the group stage. So I don't believe no talk of firing and can come in right now. But if him don't come out of the group stage, I think the public will still have to give him more time now, but don't believe so we have to give him. For example, now I give him 100%. But truth be told, if him don't come out of the group stage, it'll go down to at least 80%. With the quality players. Huh?
Reasonable. That is what I'm saying. That is reasonable. If the team seriously underperform, I think even the coach will have to question himself. If we don't come out of the group and we lose all our games, it's reasonable to say that. To say, okay, we go. He was at 100, he's at 80. No, I don't think anybody could argue with that. I don't think any
True.
realistic person could argue with that. But
Yeah, true. So this Gold Cup,
still a project.
yes,
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So this Gold Cup maybe basically I look for at least a style of player and it's not just coming out of the group stage. We need to see a style of player. Because truth be told, I think we're fool.
Hold on, steadily. You know what I find funny? I remember when Jamaica played against Argentina in the friendly game. Everybody came out and said they saw how defensively organized the team was. right? Especially in the first half. People came out and said Javian Brown and Amari Bell um, played about it, played well, sorry, and how the defense look. And we never had like even Ethan Pinner. Isn't that something new that we saw? Isn't that a style of play that we saw where we saw the team playing good defensively? All right, so when we say style of play, isn't style of play part of what we do defensively? Because we seem to be ignorant that there's no style of play, and at the same time we're saying that we are defending better. Isn't that a part of your style of play? How do you define style of play for me? And
So
how
maybe
All right. So, all
hold on,
right.
Mr.
So this coach,
Speeds
yeah.
and
So,
steadily.
No,
all
no,
right.
you're so correct. The game is both attack and defense. So it's really the plan that you have when you're in defense and the plan that you have when you're attacking. That's really what a style of play is, you know. But but there's more than one style of play. As I was to pains to explain, management you should send him the time when we went through it, and send
Yeah,
him
with the
it
video,
so he
yeah.
can go through it. So style of play could vary. So when I hear people say that you should play like this or play like that, against certain teams, playing a certain way is just suicide. So you can't stick to one style of play when it's a suicide against another style of play, because that is why football is the greatest sport ever invented. Nobody can mark everywhere on the pitch at one time. Nobody can defend all the lanes or attack all the lanes at one time. You always have to give up something to get something. And that's why football is the greatest game ever invented, because any style you come with and successful with today, tomorrow man come with a different style and beat your style. So a lot of time, what used to happen to us in Jamaica is because we never have no style. And you used to have country with strong game models that they play, and they know what they are going to do in every situation. So them always used to beat us. Them used to say, Jamaica, just playing a transition. Jamaica people take too long for react. And them used to use it and beat us in the past. So style of play, you have to be careful. What people needs to do is to learn all the styles of play and then choose the one that will be most productive in whatever game they play. Argentina played the 5 different formations in the last World Cup. Just check it back. They never stick to one style of play or one tactics or model.
Go ahead now, Teddy Lee. Finish up your point, because I want to make sure I
Yeah.
give you.
All right. All right. So this year Gold Cup, at least the style of play, and we know the coach love the 4-4-2, and at least we need to see a team where at least can go to 2026 or 2025, because I really 2025 or 2024 we start. So at least we need to use this Gold Cup to see at least a team. The problem I would have with Tapper, people not like when we bring up Tapper, is that too much changes, too much chop and changes of a Gold Cup. We see maybe a different team, a different squad. So at least this time around, if we see this Gold Cup squad, maybe 2025 come June again, maybe a look a bit of changes. We're supposed to at least have a core group of player come June 2025 for the next World Cup. So we are look out forward for the good team, young, and maybe this will be, I don't know if I pick Mariapa, maybe in last tournament, but I think we can say big up Mariapa, but a retirement time now. Maybe just give him this competition to retire. But at least we need to see the style of play and at least a core of player who can take us to 2026. We're not going to say we are Dasher Mikel Antonio, no. We're not going to say Ethan Pina. We believe Ethan Pina still can do that in 2028. I think Ravel Maris the same way still can make it, but you have some other players.
Style of play to squad now.
Hello?
So I tell you the segue. No, I'm saying that you move from style of play to squad selection.
Yeah, man, as I say, it's not just one thing we look on for this World Cup now. The style of play, as I say, the squad, and yeah, the other thing we would like to say, at least, hold on, say now, the young players, even though I mentioned that we need to see at least some young players come through. Like, I believe Jimenez, yes, people are maybe have problems with him, but I believe Jimenez maybe can be brought to this Gold Cup, because truth be told, that's why I have to bring up the style of play again. You see Leon Bailey, I rate him, but Leon Bailey on the left and the right in our 4-4-2, truth be told, in Agarra. And we have to realize that. I think him rather him play as a second striker. Even Demar Gray, the work rate for Demar Gray, I don't believe him can even fit on the left wing in a this coach system of play. Yeah, Cataract, maybe can agree or disagree, but I think Demar Gray and Leon Bailey work rate on the wings in a 4-4-2 are going to be an issue. But Bobby Reed, all I know Bobby Reed is a workhorse on the right or the left. So we know that. But we are going to have an issue with Leon Bailey and Demar Gray if them dep on the wing. But in our 4-4-3, no 4-3-3, yeah, Leon Bailey and Demar Gray can fit well up in at the top.
All right, here you go. So let Mr. Speed response.
I agree with nothing that you say. And especially the 4-4-3 that you were trying to sneak in there. So, firstly, anybody who has seen Demari Gray, and when you make Mr. Speed agree with me that you must know, say you're there at the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah,
Demari
Mr.
Gray's
Tata, why
work
Mr.
rate.
Dwight McNeil start over Mr. Gray? Why? Give me a reason.
Teddy Lee, you have to let him finish because he never interrupted you. I was just going to say to him, say the back of the class, but not the bottom of the bottom. Just say the back of the class, just because.
Bottom of the barrel.
Oh, the bottom of the barrel. Okay, yeah.
So the Demari Gray's work rate is not in question. And yes, I know you listen to my boy from Tuffy TV, and all of a sudden you're an expert on Demari Gray because you don't watch Everton. You never watch Leicester when Leicester come up from the Championship into the Premier League. Demari Gray has always had a good work rate. The issue of consistency relates to his ability to score goals on a consistent basis. There is no one who knows football that could accuse any Leicester player coming from that team that won the Premier League, Mannings. They worked hard for each other. Mark Albrighton, N'Golo Kante, Demari Gray, Jamie Vardy, they defended from the top of the pitch right down to the goalkeeper, Schmeichel. So, and I think nobody trying to throw no shade on the baller as he has submitted his documents. Man, I come talk about man now go fit in a system because the work rate. Demari Gray is a hard-working player. As a matter of fact, for Everton, he's been played out of position managed because he's actually been played most times as the number 9, right? Because Neil Mapai and in some cases Ellis Sims haven't really caught up to the standard. And the coach before and even now have retained faith in Demari Gray as the centre forward.
Yeah. Listen, I think
Yeah. Well, can we have a minute there? May I ask Tata the question? Why is Dwight McNeil playing on the left over Demar Gray?
All right,
because Demari Gray is playing as a centre forward. Don't you listen, dude?
No, he's making the side of centre forward because Mr. McNeil is.
Teddy Lee. No, we're not going to do that. I am not having a discussion about why are we discussing play and who this and all of those things and we don't know what the squad. We not reach there so yet. All right, so let's get back to what we're talking about. We're not going to go there, sir. We're not going to have this conversation. Respectfully, and you may feel like indirectly connected, but we're not going to have that conversation. We have bring up players and we don't know who in a squad. We not reach there so yet. So I want to talk to this. I see Peso have a question for Mr. Speed about who started this whole thing. So let me get to this. All right, Ted Lisa, I'll let you come back in and say something. But we're not going to go down. We don't need to get down the road about play and who play where and who play where. We don't even know who going to be in the squad. So let's not get there. So let's come back to formula. When we're talking about, let's get back to the point. Style of play. And I mentioned about part of how we set up defensively. This was formula response. A positive style of play, Mannings. We are a top. Listen, defending well is a positive style of play. If you can't defend, that is negative in football. That's a minus. You already start on a minus. So, formula, what you'd have to do is explain to me what is positive style of play different from negative. Maybe Mr. Speed. Mr. Speed, how do you define? Because me I want definition now, How do you define a positive style of play?
Let me just say a game model because the style of play thing kind of sometimes I don't know what it means, to be honest. Because you could describe the Brazil used to have a samba style where you might take on someone, do some little tricky thing and go past you and make you look stupid. People, it don't work anymore. They haven't won the World Cup for 22 years, and it won't be for 25 years when you add the next 2 years to the next World Cup. So, make we talk about game model. So, all of these countries develop strong game models, as I suggested in the past. So, I think what they're talking about is the Man City style, where is the possession-based game model, where you have it and you keep it and you have it in your opponent half. You pass and move, slick moving, taking shots. So that all sound positive. So I think that is what they want to say. But even with those style of play where people play like that, they still have defense is a big part of that type of play, because if you notice all of those teams that keep the ball with so much possession, they do what you call a counter press. Every time they lose the ball, they say everybody will work hard up the pitch to try and get it back before the team can get the counter attack them, or try to make the team them have to play negative in some way. So with every style of play, where you might look and think it positive on offense, there's also a part of it where you have to do on defense, or people just cut it to shreds with counter attacking play. Especially like how the world now. So you can't tell Morocco, who reached a quarter of the semi-final of the World Cup, that their style of play is not positive. What they did, they positively played without the ball, not negatively. They know what they were doing. They play without the ball until they get it. Then they made what you call some counter attack with fast, rapid players who know exactly what they wanted to do and know that, listen, if we get 2 shots, we're going to bury them. And you can't tell me that them was negative. So all of that is negative, positive, is depending on the person who's looking at it.
All right. So I wrote down this because I want to make sure I write down my next question. My question is, do we have the players and have we had the time to play the way or to use the style of play you want us to use?
You mean like Man City?
No, I'm asking the persons who are speaking about it. Like, however they define it. Do we have the players and have we had the time to play the way you want Jamaica to play? Number one. And number two, tell me where in our history have you seen us play the way you want us to play? All right. So I wish somebody could answer that for me. Teddy Lee, can you answer that scene that you brought up? I don't know if Ketara can.
All right, so here what? A result me deal with in a football, me no business in a pretty football or whatever. As we say, if we get the result, if top of the qualifier we don't say.
I know
What you
you
say?
Are you come on? When you came on, you brought
Yeah.
this, so how you gone back now? Say you're not business about that.
No man. Here, no man. When we talk about style of play, even if you're playing negative, so listen up. So even if you're playing negative football, like parking the bus, at least when you get the ball or if you score it, do something, be direct. So for example, the last match I played against Mexico, I think it was 30% of the ball possession, but we do something with the ball. It look like we are do something. So I want to have to give this coach, yes, we have a little bit of ball possession, but it look like we are do something with it. Compared to the other coach with the same ball possession, we not do nothing with the ball. We not look threatening or nothing to goal or nothing like that.
So here's my question again, Teddy Lee.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask you my question. Because I'm not going to stop asking the question until you can say, boy, you can't answer it, you need more time. Right? So let me ask you the question. All right? All right. So here's the question. Do we have the players and have we had the time to play the way we want the Jamaica team to play? And when have we ever seen a Jamaican team play that way?
All right. So as a young fan, so me hear people always saying that in '98 will play A man like couldn't have to tell you, but I hear that we at least play look okay, you know. That me here, I don't know. So I wouldn't have to tell me. But the thing back then is that the team had the time together. So I know that the argument when I use. So we don't have the time. The players, like I think we get some new players. We don't know how the preliminary list are gonna look on the 23. But yes, give it. The coach don't have the time. But I think we have the players I think we get the players where we are going. But I don't believe we have the time. If that makes sense. That makes sense?
No, it does not make sense.
You
So,
just
so
elaborate
man,
in the Queen's English for me, please, Mr. Ketterer.
you are promoting posh madness, like a weather guster. That's what you're talking. So, Mannings,
Yes.
let me say this clearly. After less than half a year in the job, the coach and less than half a dozen games, and about half a dozen games, the coach would not have the time nor the ability to look at all of the players that he would need to in order to get the optimum result. This tournament has come fresh on the heels of him coming and settling in Jamaica in January, and he must be given the latitude. But I wanted to pose something through you, Mr. Host, to Teddy Lee. So, Teddy Lee, would you say then that since you are not able to get the security guards of Jamaica their contract that the court has set, should you be fired as the president?
Ketterer.
Because time is running out and security guards are hungry and they need the new contracts now. No, I'm asking a very important thing, because when it relates to us personally, all of a sudden it's a different matrix.
Let's stick to
No,
please
it
let's
is
stick.
no,
Ketterer.
Mannings.
Yes, if you
Mannings.
understand.
The reason why I ask this Mannings, and Mr.
Yeah.
Speed, you can verify. It's 6 months since the court passed down the ruling about security guards and their tenure and their contract. And it's roughly about the same time that Coach Hallgrimsson came on the job. I dare say that Coach Hallgrimsson has been more effective. And so I would ask Teddy Lee that anything you're seeking to apply to Coach Hallgrimsson, apply to thyself, sir.
So
I rest.
let me just remind people that in 1998 it took some heroics for us to get to the round of 8 against, I think, so the game that we played to get there, it wasn't a dominant Jamaican performance when we got to the World Cup. So before we got to I think the Suriname, where I think Whitmore actually scored in those Suriname games, those 2-leg games. It wasn't Jamaica ball Suriname. Let's go to that. When we actually got into that World Cup campaign, we let us not forget that midway that campaign, everything was we are not going anywhere. Let us not forget
Well,
this.
after the first match, just to remind you, we had 5 points from 5 games. After the first 5 games, we had 5 points, and like Costa Rica and those teams was way ahead of us,
We
and
are
we
ahead of
thought we
us.
were
So
dead and
let
buried.
us not forget that. Let us go back and watch. When we went to Mexico, all right, people talk about the USA game, but go and check the ball percentage and passing accuracy in that game. That's what I want us to remember. Let's go to when we even played Mexico, when Paul Hall, I think from half line, we countered. We were defending. So this idea that Jamaica was playing some ticky-tacky kind of football or some, I don't know where it is from.
So
So I
what
want
happened in
somebody,
'98?
all I
Because
want for somebody to tell me what period of our football, and I'm going to ask the question again. Point me to a period of our football when what we were playing was the kind of football that you call whatever. Tell me the period that I need to check on. Go ahead, Mr. Speed, and then
No, I
and
was
see.
saying that I remember very clearly what happened in '98. I was watching football from even before, I was watching football that from when we went to the stadium, we could just walk in like 5 minutes before, and it was good. There was no problem for getting there. You know, when people like Jeffrey Maxwell are coach and when I watch, some older set up player try qualify. The first professional player that came to play for Jamaica from overseas was Lenny Dennis. I remember when he was trying to head the ball in from a pass on the ground. From those times I watched games. So I can tell you what happened in the '98 from its inception. We were what you call a counter-attacking team. We defended in our own half ferociously. We do the five at the back thing. We had five at the back, and we play 5-3-2. Sometimes it look like a 3-5-2, but a really 5-3-2. We defend ferociously. We had some really good defenders, very intelligent centre half in Badders. We had Rudy Dixon and Pepe Goodison was probably two of our best defenders, centre half we ever have. But we were still struggling. We were struggling. On the fifth game, we had 5 points, and we were like dead and buried because Costa Rica was at a lot of points at that point. The goals that Paul scored, the goals that Dean Burton scored, were the ones that carried us through in the last 5 games. And as I said, there were goals that we counter from offline. Dean Burton robbed the ball upfield because he used to work so hard and score. So get the equalizer against USA. I can remember it wasn't like we were dominant in any way when we came to play Mexico in the last game that we needed, a draw to qualify. Mexico came with 16 persons and, including Bora's daughter. I remember talking to him about it. She was on the bench. He carried 16 persons and left a lot of the top stars. And it was a game that played in the middle third. Mexico didn't want to score. We tried to score once, they tried to score once, and then they came back. And that's how we qualified. So you're 100% correct. We were never ever dominant. Like our game model was never the positive game model where we had everybody on their back foot and they were hanging on for dear life. That was never ever the case. But we were very resourceful. Simoes played like a lot of practice games, so we had a lot of practice to be able to put what he wanted to achieve, and the players was able to carry it out using the strengths that we had. We were strong. I remember us beating Mexico to go through to the hexagonal round from a Pepe Goodison header in the stadium. That was a set play. We were strong and resolute and determined, and the whole nation was behind us. That is why I know Cataract keep on talking about the marketing and to get the people to follow the team. Look here, everywhere the Reggae Boys was in that campaign, the whole of Jamaica was there with them. It was really something to understand. When we played the last game in the stadium full and 10,000 people still sitting out the door. People was at the stadium from 8 o'clock in the morning and couldn't get in. So it was true that we were, for that 4-year period, I think we were a football crazy nation. And some of those support probably was what helped carry us through, but it wasn't the great football we were playing, so I concur.
All right, so I see. So like I like to find things, So I want you to check Winifred Schaefer's record formula, and I'm gonna give you some quotes from him, because he said, "Remember, this is." He said, "Let me give you some quote from him. It doesn't matter if you are Germany, England, or Jamaica. You need a long-term plan and national and international cooperation to succeed. Right? You can't think from match to match, from month to month. When I started a coach in Jamaica, I stressed that point and explained the step that we would take there. All right? So, the Reggae Boys were officially eliminated from the World Cup campaign during the last round when they lost their consecutive, right, to Mexico, Panama, and Costa Rica. All right. Right, they remain in seventh place and 7 points behind leaders Canada. I think that was the last World Cup champion. But I'm going to give you give because sometimes you have to look at stats and things. Because sometimes I think we have very selective memory, and we have to be careful, right? That again, when Joby McAnuff and all of those people and they went World Cup final. We have to be careful that we're not looking at the thing in a nutshell. Look at the time when did Winifred Schaefer, when he took the team, how many games did he have, right? When he got to the Gold Cup. Who were the players? Go back to that Gold Cup squad and look at the players and how many games they had played together. So we always need to put things into context. And I think that is a problem we having and with this whole style of play. But I don't want the rest of, we are at the 3 hour mark, so I'm going to give um each of the panelists lots of time, 5 minutes, uninterrupted, to make your closing argument in the court of law. All right, please, and do not, um, do not.
Let me go before Keterak. Keterak a showstopper. I must stop the show.
Yes.
so so yes, we go back to the draw. I think Jamaica get a really good draw. I wouldn't have asked for if I was able to choose the draw, I would have probably chosen the teams that Jamaica get to play against because you really want to avoid USA and you want to get to other teams you can beat up. But you don't want to be scared either. You want to be able to play USA early to see what the gap is and to see how you can plan for them in the next when you meet again. Because the truth is, you could have played a whole heap of match against France and England and all of those teams. In the Gold Cup, you're not playing them. It's USA you are going to play in the final most likely or Mexico, no matter what anybody says. So we have had practice against Mexico recently. About 3 games in the last, about 4 games in the last year we have played against Mexico. So we should have a good idea of what to expect against Mexico by now. The one that we do have so much, we have practice against USA, but the gaps has been a little bit far with USA in the last, if you use the last 4 games. So this is the one that you want to match up early with, and then, yeah, if anything, you look at matching up again with them sometime. So the draw to me is perfect for Jamaica. And I also like the zone that we go up against in the quarterfinal, the zone D, because again, yes, Canada may have had us out for a while for the last World Cup qualifier, but the truth is before that, we always was competitive against Canada and beat them in some instances. So to me, it's not a bad draw, whether it's Canada or Guatemala. So from that point of view. So just to say, I mean, I just going through this in the works to finish off if Hallgrimsson is making progress. So the match that we played against Mexico last year that we lost 2-1. You remember that game? We
Yeah.
had 25% possession and Mexico had 75. I was throwing it out. So this match we had 31% possession and we scored 2 goals. The last one we scored 1 goal with 25% possession. I don't know if you see is I don't know if that's progression and everybody should be satisfied. But you see what happened there is that with possession rate come up. We scored 2 goals this time at the Azteca. So maybe the coach doing even better than people think. So I'll finish with that.
All right. So all right, go. All right. Let me just give Schaefer led Jamaica team. He was appointed in 2013 and in September 2016. During that time, he had 41 matches. He had 20 losses, 7 draws, and 14 wins. Right? He was a total of 74 players. Points per game, 1.20. And goals against, 1.46. Goals for, 1.10. So statistically, it is it is not the yeah it is not the that's the best record. In fact, of the international teams that he has led, Cameroon, Thailand, Jamaica, his stats for Jamaica are the worst. All right, Ketarak, your 5 minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Manez. I think Mr. Speed has outlined my views on the draw, so there's no need to regurgitate that. We're in the best position. He's also acknowledged that the need for a strong fan support where the team goes. And when I end, I'm going to end remembering one of the first people who I could say was an ultra for Reggae Boys. I believe that we should allow the coach, not that we are not looking at performance and how someone is doing their job, but I don't believe you can stand over somebody and wave an axe over their head and expect them to perform optimally. So how the coach sets about preparing the team, how he puts together his squad, all those things we will look at and see whether he continues the good work that he has been doing to date from my perspective. I expect us to come out of the round. I look forward and pray to God that we meet Trinidad in the knockout phase.
I have a lot of Trinidadian friends, Like,
No,
what?
I thought you said uninterrupted, sir. And yeah, love is a speed. But I can't help beating it. I saw a comment. I don't have no personal beef with nobody, and so some little man who want to hide behind some name and throw a word, we never soon. Marines, my last couple seconds, I'm gonna remember Ultra. Can't call his name, but Mr. Speed will know what I'm talking about. A vendor from in the New Kingston area who is a diehard Reggae Boy fan. And when we turned up at the Mexican airport on the charter flight, I saw Fan X. So my female is laughing in the background. I saw Fan X. The man didn't have a passport, change of clothes, nothing. He just followed the team bus, went on the bus that was taking us to the airport, sorry, the coach, and came. When we reached the line and we said, boy, immigration, you the man, somebody can lend me a passport. And boy, I don't know how he got it, but he got into Mexico and he was at Azteca. And so when we were laughing about it, a man said to him, I bet you can't do that when we're going to play USC in DC. And again, without a passport and a visa, I don't know how Vendor X was at the stadium in DC, but big up yourself. Mr. Speed, you remember that is how determined people were to go and watch the Reggae Boys. Man fly without visa, man fly without passport and reach at the match because it was such a love. And I really hope that love comes back to the team. I hope that the fans come out and really rally around the Jamaica national men's football team. Wish the under-20 Reggae girls well in the upcoming fixture this evening. I know we have overshadowed, and hopefully with Mr. Speed we get a chance to talk to these about the preparation and stuff for these girls. But wish them well and hope they're able to get a positive result in their qualifying games. Big up the whole of the man them, big up everybody who tune in, hit the like button, and there's many things we could be doing, but we're here every day dealing with football. And I mean, big up yourself, Marines, for the thing. Big up Coach Hallgrimsson. Thank you for again letting us know football play on YouTube and come and speak to us, the fans. We really respect that about you, sir. And wish you a safe flight to wherever it is you're going. I hope that it's to England, Mr. Speed, as we were promised, so that you could go look at their players and conduct your recruitment. Bing!
All right, so Teddy Lee, we're coming to Teddy Lee next. But formula, I am not being disingenuous. All right, so we are talking about Coach Hallgrimsson. This is stemming from Flavor Max conversation, and Teddy Lee came on. That is where this conversation is from. All right, so I just gave you stats. There's nothing disingenuous about the stats that I presented to you. Because what we're measuring Coach Hal Grimson on, I don't know where you are getting your conversation formula, but let me state this categorically. This conversation right here started with us talking about the Gold Cup, talking about style of play. So maybe you are referring to some other thing. So let me give you the games that Coach Hal Grimson has coached Jamaica. The world champions, Argentina. A team that one of the great footballers of our time, Samuel Eto'o, said we're going to win the World Cup in Cameroon. All right, so he played Cameroon, he played Argentina. He played perennial favorites, in Mexico. He has played 3 away games. He played 2 home games against one of the, whether we rate them or not, Trinidad and Tobago are 2 of the top teams in the Caribbean. Has always been. Trinidad has more Caribbean titles than Jamaica. So that is what we are measuring with Schaefer, because we're talking about positive football that you brought up. So I don't understand how we are talking about Hal Grimson and the 5 games and Schaefer's time, and you use Schaefer as when we were playing positive football. And now you're saying that I am being disingenuous. I bet I'm gonna get that still. But I'm going to give Teddy Lee. So that is what we're talking about. So Teddy Lee, your time, my friend.
All right, so basically, I'm not gonna stay long. It's a good job for the Reggae Boys, and yeah, me I look forward to see the preliminary squad, and at least reach a semi-final. The positivity playing where people are talking about negativity, it no matter to me, as long as we get the result and look forward for the future. As we said, this is not football related, but cataract, you have to know if you deal with people and try. Cause normally, we not take you seriously now. But you see, when you come to the security guard issue, I know why you try to water down the thing. You get me? Years, decades of this security I go through.
Not security
You
guards,
get me?
officers.
No, we know about him. I try to like dumb down my thing or something like that.
No.
Careful how you do a thing. You get me?
Cataract, no, we now go cataract. Yeah, for sure, yeah, because security officers are very important to.
Now, what I'm trying to say now, you have some
Not
powerful lobby
security.
interests. The private security companies are very powerful. Over the years, the government, them talk. Obviously, them can't control these people. So, me I say, cataract, don't try to compare me thing. Don't do that.
Yeah, all right, boss. We now gonna get in that. Hey, you know
Yeah.
what,
So, yeah. So, as I say, back to football, the coach, me not upon the firing bandwagon. I believe my improve more and more because from Argentina last year to Mexico now, me see improvement. Me not gonna be like some people about fire. No. I believe we can go to the quarterfinal and even the semi-final. I may not be surprised if we win the cup, the Gold Cup, for the first time with this coach. You know what I mean? But as I said, the key, I believe at least if we have some camp, whether in a June or me or June, we need some camp so at least the players them can know them each other well. Maybe some new players who are coming in. And then, as we said, I think them, when I know Mr. Speed, as Mr. becoming late, I think we'll talk to the coach, don't it?
Yeah, we spoke with Coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to recap what him says still as Mr. just coming in, you know?
Yeah, man. But listen.
Yeah, so bless up.
Let me say this steadily. Big up yourself. I want to say I am glad that both you and Cataract could be on the stream together. You understand me? But what I'll say is that I saw you did a video really where you suggested something that I think is very true about what you believe Cataract should venture in. So here's what I believe, though, Teddy. Let me see this. I think it would be good, because you guys seem like both of you are on different
No,
sides.
don't do that. Does not go there, Mannings. When a man,
no, Teddy and Cataract, no collaboration. No.
You see when it's so easy is to step on a man. who step on a man called Mannings. Because when a man sit down and take a name and put it in a video title for get couple views, and when you go in a dance, one little juggling song come tell you say you can't chat to them because so, man go deal with man pan. You understand? Yeah. So Teddy Lee, my son take another little thing for scribble up and play around with it. Since you want to put it that way. I just showing you, my bro.
Hey, listen,
But
these
now, but
people.
a bit of
Hey,
trouble, man, people, brother.
Listen,
Don't make me call Mr. Philip Powell, please. Don't make me do.
Teddy Lee and Cataract. The man just hit the nail on the head. The Teddy Cat show. A big thing that
You think a fancy cat? Favorite cat.
the Teddy Cat show. Listen, I'd love to see both of you, because you guys are involved in the whole politics and all of these things going on. Because I think you do a good show, but not that I am sure sports. But I think you could do a good thing discussing some of these things because I think both of you have some good ideas and there's a seriousness in terms of what you do. But that is just my thought still. I like the idea of the Teddy Cat show. You understand me? Or the Teddy Rock show. Or the Rock Teddy show. You understand me? I don't know. But listen, again, thanks to everyone for joining. The Jamaica Reggae Girls at 8 this evening, they take on Anguilla. And we wish them all the best. Yeah, in the game later, watch them, support them. And we await more information about the Gold Cup. Big thank you to Cataract, to Mr. Porter, to Tiga, to Teddy Lee, Unseen Sport, Mr. Speed, Coach Hallgrimsson for coming on to the program, Marlon as well, Brian Mightin, all the subscribers, all the callers, all the persons with super chats and super stickers. Listen, there are many shows going on. I know that Coach Minzy has Earl Bailey, I think, coming on. Check out the other platforms from Reggae Boys coming through the Formula, Military Gona, JD, I think IMAX it, Simon Preston. Listen, show some love. It's one Jamaica. It doesn't hurt if you subscribe. I know people will tell you that they don't, money is man, them don't say that. It don't matter to me. Listen, we need to support our Jamaican brands. Even if you don't agree with them, you can give the support. It doesn't hurt.
Coach's desk. Coach's desk.
Coach's desk. Yeah, man, we talk about them having the show later. It don't hurt if you subscribe to a person's platform and hit the like button. Just as a
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, say Teddy Cat name they look. Yeah, man, But a politics, maybe a politics show where Cataract could handle still, not football, But it is what it is.
Yeah, man. We think it's a good idea still. The Teddy Cat show. Yeah, man. We think it's a good show. Cataract was thinking about, I'm going to do it once a month. Once a month.
Mannings.
Close the show, man.
That's like asking Mikel Antonio to come once a month and play in the D Cup. I'm not doing that. You think me a lily boy in politics? You think me something lily?
What Teddy seems to do everybody in it, but I am.
So my thing little in politics, Mr. Cataract, my thing lily. I just ask.
I am management. This is Iron Shore Sports, and before Teddy Lee and
bless up.
I'm a laugh after in Parliament.
We are all they here.
Big up the girls. Big up the